Good morning to you. It's a Friday morning, a few minutes after 5, and welcome into the Marc Cox Morning Show. Yes, it is Marc live, despite if you tuned in a short time ago, maybe any time in the 4 a.m. hour, you were hearing, what, music,
not 100%
promos,
sure.
Well, I just want to apologize
commercials.
to the gentleman who called in earlier this morning thinking he won Jimmy Fallon tickets for the factory on January 24th.
Sorry.
We'd like to apologize. Unfortunately, we were not giving away tickets this morning. That event got snowed out and is rescheduled for April 11th.
Yeah, we just went through a pretty major technical problem here in the last little bit as they were trying to reset some stuff back in our server room, and things were running that were old that should never have been running to begin with. And I was texting Kim, and poor Ethan, I'm sure, was running around like a chicken with his head cut off trying to figure this out. But fortunately, we seem to have it under control. Our engineer was in here this morning working hard on it, and if you're hearing my voice, that was a success. Did we get to Fox News at the top of the hour here? Did that work?
I think so.
It wasn't the top of the hour. Oh, no, I guess we did.
Yeah, we did.
I'm sorry.
good,
we were
good.
to be honest, we were talking.
We weren't paying attention.
At the top of the 4 o'clock hour, we did not. I knew that, so I didn't know if we
the
managed
satellites
to...
were out, I know,
Okay.
coming in.
All right. So we are slaves to the technology around here, and servers control all of those satellite feeds. And when that thing stops working for some reason, they had to do some regular maintenance on it, and you know, it was just a glitch. Fortunately, we are back with you now, and it appears that the socials seem to be working this morning on YouTube and Facebook, and all is good with the world. And we suck,
Except
right?
for I think the audio stream on Odyssey might not be working yet.
Oh, it isn't? Okay.
We're not 100% sure on that one.
All right. Well, in other words, our crack engineering
Hopefully it
team,
is.
Kyle, our one-man engineering team this morning is working on it because he was back in here when I got here, already hard at work.
The whole IT team is in here. There was at least 4 of them.
Whew, that's good.
Yeah. They did a great job.
Well, I mean, because they were here because they were working on it.
Right.
So we got faster than normal reaction this morning for what was going on, and we're thankful for that for sure. Anyway, that's all behind us now. We do have the text line up and working. Am I correct about that?
Yeah, we
Kim?
suck.
We suck again. We particularly sucked worse because of whatever the technical problem was. Isn't that what they said?
Well, one person said, when will your Odyssey feed be back up? What I'm hearing really does suck, unlike you guys. And then at the same exact time, we got the "you guys suck" text.
I see. Well, that's always good.
Someone also just said, even though AI tried to destroy the station, I want you to know y'all don't suck.
Thank you.
You must be from the South. If you say y'all.
241-9797, you too can participate in the text line this morning, and we'll read those as we go on through the morning. Right now, my technical difficulty is I'm unable to sign into that, so at least Kim can see it down there, and she can read some of the messages that are coming in. This has just been it's just a fun way to start off your Friday morning. But on the bright side, at least it's a Friday. We made it to Friday. It's going to be reasonably warm the next few days. A little bit of rain, but not freezing for the people who will be participating in Mardi Gras. I saw that it's going to rain all afternoon on Saturday. It looks like the morning part, maybe that'll be a little better. I'm so far removed from participating in that.
Oh,
that
yeah.
I did drive my kid down there a few times when he was in college and drop he and his buddies off to have fun.
Yeah, and you know what? I don't miss it at all.
No.
I just...
No.
I do.
So you do? Do you miss it?
Well, we were on a float for 15
Well,
years,
well,
so
that's
we
different.
missed part of
you,
the crew.
You
I
missed
missed my
the
crew.
parade. You missed the people. We're talking about the chaos
I
of
understand
Mardi
what you're
Gras, where
talking
people
about,
are
but-
so drunk they don't know up from down, and it's
It
just
is kind
a
of fun
bunch
to see
ridic-
from on the float perspective.
Yeah,
what
if
everybody
you're
is doing.
not the one who's immersed in it, that's true.
Yeah.
Other than that,
I guess here's my question for you. Did you age out? What happened?
No, there was some politics that I won't get into.
Okay, yeah.
And then COVID
Okay.
happened, and then
All right.
that kind of
That kinda
killed it for
killed
way to go,
us.
COVID! You ruined everything.
Yeah.
One of my biggest regrets, speaking of Mardi Gras, is that many years ago, probably 25 years ago, it was a long time ago, we had some friends who managed to somehow get on a crew at like the real Mardi Gras parade in New Orleans.
Yeah.
And they invited us down there to take part in that, and we didn't go.
Oh.
And I regret that to this day, just to have experienced it once,
Right.
In New Orleans, and we blew the assignment. So stuff happens, right? Oh, well. All right. Lots of stuff going on for you this morning we're going to get to. We've got Congressman Bob. We got two members of Congress on this morning. Congressman Bob Onder is going to join us in the Capitol beat at 7:35. And we've gotten Congresswoman Ann Wagner this morning in the 8 o'clock hour to come on and join us. We can get updates from both of them on the Save America Act, the fact that Democrats are about to shut down the government just to defund the police, just to defund law enforcement. We're going to talk about the upcoming school board elections, which are, in April. I mean, going to be here before you know it. Maybe you've already seen the billboards that have popped up. I'm glad to see them spending some money, particularly in Francis Howell. They're a big election in Wentzville. Very important that we get some sanity back on these local school boards, because in many cases it's gone the wrong direction. And there is legislation out there to move these elections to November, so you don't have a 10% turnout, a voter turnout. That whoever's on these boards is not representative of the people. It's representatives of whoever can get their voter base out. And right now that's the teachers union, and that's who's represented on the school boards. And you know exactly what the NEA stands for, and that's what the policy and the curriculum you're getting. So we will continue to talk about that all morning. We're going to get you an update on this Guthrie situation. So we will work on that for you as well. I got some new information this morning that surprised me about this Guthrie case. So we will get to all of that. But right now, Ethan, let's go ahead and get to our top stories.
The Marc Cox Shortlist, presented by Rhino Shield.
Tonight, President Trump has repealed U.S. power to regulate climate in this country. The president officially rejecting the science and what this now clears the way for. Critics tonight arguing this is not only dangerous for the environment, but for your health.
I know I trust that guy, David Muir, to tell me what the science is. Did you know David Muir is a scientist? The president is denying the science. He's going to kill us all. What a crock up. Bleep.
There's a bus leaving the Capitol grounds and headed for an airport. Democrats are on that bus, who just voted to defund the paycheck of the TSA agent making $40,000 a year to hop on a plane funded by your tax dollars to go to Munich.
To drink wine. Thank you very much, Eric Schmidt, for calling him out yesterday on the floor of the United States Senate.
You helped fraudsters defraud your state and this government of $9 billion, and you got a fat campaign contribution out of it. You ought to be indicted.
Yeah, Hawley and Ellison went at it yesterday. That guy has got to be one of the most corrupt attorney generals in America. He was a joke as a congressman. He's been a left-wing, far-left activist his entire career. And now he's the attorney general of where else? Minneapolis.
We are officially terminating the so-called endangerment finding, a disastrous Obama-era policy that severely damaged the American auto industry and massively drove up prices for American consumers.
He's denying the science, says David Muir, ABC News anchor, because he's smarter than you are. You must listen to David Muir. Listen to the tone that David Muir brings to the table when he's telling you the president is denying the science. I mean, it is lunacy out there. There's got to be massive applause in Detroit for sure, where these automakers, they've got the chains taken off of them a little bit, where they were forced to eat losses on these EVs that people weren't buying. They weren't buying it. You can't force these mandates down the throats of the American people for no reason, killing the coal industry, killing the automobile industry. I mean, it's ridiculous. And finally, you've got some comment. Now, it takes a while to draw these stupid rules back because it's a process. But as you can tell, a year into his presidency, it's something they've been working on, and nothing could make me happier than that. We're going to talk a little bit more about that coming up in the next hour and in the next segment, I should say. And I'm going to get to more on this news that I heard about from the Guthrie case out in Arizona, because this is I was surprised. I was when I heard it this morning. I'm going to bring it to you when we come back here in just a minute. But right now, let's get to our national anthem.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what separately we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight, oh, the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets' red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave.
Traffic from the 97.1 FM Talk Traffic Center.
Good morning to you. Happy Friday. It's going to be a fabulous day. Beautiful anyway. We've got light traffic out there now. There's road work reported westbound 370 at 141 in the two right lanes. But at this hour, it's not causing a delay. And you know, on Friday mornings, we tend to have lighter volume anyway. We look good through North County. 55 is in good shape. No problems on the Illinois side. So far, so good. If something comes up, I'll let you know. I'm Sue Thomas with traffic on 97.1 FM Talk, St. Louis Conservative.
All right, let's talk flooring for just a minute. And Michael's Flooring Outlet. And no matter what you've seen, if it has been maybe on your favorite TV show or you just happen to pick up a magazine and you see the kind of fashion or new flooring they're doing in New York or L.A., we got all that right here. Mike Reynolds travels the country. He makes sure he has the latest trends covered. And if he's got it in his warehouse, you might get it installed the next day. If he doesn't have it in his warehouse, he can probably get it for you. And that's what I love about Mike. He's been at this 30-plus years now with 3 great stores, and I am a many-time customer. 4 different flooring purchases we've made over the years, including our last house. When we moved in, we wanted completely new flooring for most of the first floor. They were able to get that accomplished before the furniture arrived, which was perfect. They made sure it happened. They busted their tails to get it done, and we appreciated that very much. Now, go check them out. You can check them out in the store. They've got everything, or all those great Mohawk products in Old Town St. Peter's and Darting Prairie in West St. Louis County, or they'll come to you. That's the great thing about it, and they always follow up after the sale to make sure you are satisfied. They'll do the same thing for you that they've done for me 4 different times now. Go online, and when you get in there, or if you go to the store, be sure and tell them you heard it from Marc Cox. It's igotfloored.com.
I'm Dr. Nick Barnes at Health From Within Family Chiropractic in Rock Hill. At Health From Within, our mission is to transform the way you manage your health by bringing you the truth about health and healing. We use proven techniques to remove interference in the nervous system and maximize health naturally, without drugs or surgery. Connect with me at healthfromwithinstl.com And join me for Maximize Living on this station every Sunday at 8 a.m. or download the Maximize Living podcast, Health from Within, STL.com.
When storm damage strikes or it's just time for a new roof, call my friend Cornelius at C. Marion Roofing. This is Ryan Wiggins. I've used him multiple times for roofs and bathrooms. He's licensed and insured for both homes and businesses. Start to finish, he'll handle your insurance claim and get you the job done right, fast, reliable, and with quality you can count on. I can testify to that. Call C. Marion Roofing today, 314-399-2140. That's 314-399-2140. Or type in C. Marion Roofing for all your projects.
You're listening to the Marc Cox Morning Show. 97.1 FM Talk, St. Louis Conservative.
Still working through our technical problems here. I apologize to you for that. I just went to the Odyssey app, and this is the message you're getting right now. If you're trying to use that, I'll let you listen. Hold on.
Experience. We'll be back up and running as quickly as possible. Thanks for your patience.
Yeah, thanks for your patience. Whatever's going on, the Odyssey app is not functional right now. So you can join us on Facebook or X or YouTube, whatever is most convenient for you, Rumble, if that's what you like to do. Or you can listen over the air, obviously, the old-fashioned way. And we're working on the technical problems, which extend themselves to my computer here in front of me, which has no access to any of our drives where I happen to store all of the audio that I cut for the show. So we'll just have to function this morning without it. I looked at all the headlines yesterday. None of it surprised me because I knew I knew what was going to happen the minute Tom Homan held his news conference up there, and the minute that he announced yesterday that he was withdrawing ICE or CPB and ICE agents from Minneapolis. You knew the minute he made that announcement that what the headlines were going to be, and I swear it didn't take till we were at the end of the show. I mean, it was that fast. Trump bails in Minnesota. Trump retreats from the protesters in Minnesota. That's immediately how they played it in the mainstream media. And, of course, we know that's not the case. Ethan, if you have access to the day file, you will see that I have a Tom Homan bite in there that I'm trying desperately to get to. If you can pull up that Tom Homan bite where he talks about the fact that they're after these illegals, they're still after these illegals, and they found a bunch of missing kids when they were there. Can you see that in today's day file?
Hopefully it's this one.
If you are here in the country legally, you're not exempt from our immigration laws. If we encounter you, we'll take appropriate enforcement action. For those that say we are backing down from immigration enforcement or the promise of mass deportations, you are simply wrong. Look at the data. Record number of arrests and deportations under President Trump's first year, and we'll continue that effort.
Yeah, they're not only are they not backing down, but they want to make the argument that now they're trying to claim that Tom Homan is a liar about the missing children. So again, same day file. There's a bite in there from Abby Phillips on Tom Homan. Play that for the people, please.
I know Tom Homan has been big on this lost children thing, but the idea that these children were lost or missing has never been true. Some of them were released into the custody of relatives or other caretakers, which is part of the process over many years.
They often were released to adults who weren't verified.
Listen, all I'm saying is that his characterization of them as being lost has never been accurate. It wasn't accurate when he started saying it a year ago. It's still not accurate today.
Can you believe the how far CNN and the mainstream media will go to carry water for the disastrous immigration policies of the Biden administration? If these kids absolutely were lost, They first of all, it was a parental fail because their parents sent them to the border unaccompanied. God only knows the horror these children experienced from these mules and these drug runners as they were sexually abused and assaulted as they were brought to the border. And then they were accompanied by people not related to them, and the Biden administration allowed them into the country anyway, instead of holding them and sending them back wherever they came from. They released them into the interior of this country. Can you imagine how many of them became the victims of these pedophilia rings? They were sex trafficked. It's sick. The child abuse that took place here is sickening. And we have to listen to the likes of Abby Phillips on CNN, the talking head, if there's a brain cell in there, I can't find it when I listen to her, who's trying to carry, it's just not true. These thousands of them, they think there were maybe 11 or 12,000 or more children, unaccompanied minors, that were released into the interior of this country, and they have no idea where they went or what happened to them. That might be the biggest travesty out of all of the. Now, there were millions of illegals allowed in. Why in God's name would you allow children in who were not related to the person holding their hand when they crossed the border? You talk about feeding the sex trafficking business in America. My goodness. What are we doing here? Rampant child abuse. And instead of celebrating the success that we found 3,500 plus children just in Minneapolis who were allowed, who weren't here with a family member, who the hell's supporting them? Who's taking care of them? I mean, if you turned your kid loose today and they were found wandering the street, you'd be in jail. But Abby Phillips would defend and say, "Oh, your kid wasn't really lost. That's just not true. They were just holding the hand of some adult they didn't know in the street walking down the street. They weren't really lost. We shouldn't charge the guy that was walking with them potentially to sexually abuse them or worse." That's how far the left in this country is willing to go to try to cover up the failures of the Biden administration. And Donald Trump has turned it around spectacularly in 1 year. Once again, you can't hate the mainstream media in this country enough for the lies they tell every single day. We're going to get to Kim on a Whim coming up. Stay tuned.
The ACA Market Plan has just announced significant increases on their monthly premiums for 2026, with deductibles over $10,000. You can enroll with Greg Hammond's Freedom of Choice plans now. You don't have to wait. One of their plans lets you use any doctor, has zero outpatient deductibles, and it's 30 to 60% lower than most Obamacare plans. Other options are full coverage PPOs with national networks, copays, and 100% annual preventative care. Also, there's no income disclosure required, so no potential tax penalties. If you pay for your own health insurance, you're uninsured, you're on COBRA, or your employer coverage is just too expensive, call Greg, and they'll provide all available options. Call 314-794-7784. That's 314-794-7784. Or go to greghammonds.com. That's greghammonds.com. He can custom design a plan managed and chosen by you, not the government.
License number GL250000615.
Hey, it's good to see you.
Home power used to be simple. Now the car plugs in, the scooter plugs in, the space heater plugs in, and your electric panel starts popping.
That sounds bad, but I like popcorn.
Popcorn is great, sparks are not. Call Grasser. We'll upgrade your panel so you can run it all.
Electric and plumbing, the Grasser way.
Green is always Grasser at GrasserHomeServices.com.
Why specialty MRI? It's proactive healthcare, no code clinics, right here in Fenton.
Was it hard to schedule? Was there a long wait?
Not at all. Direct access, no referral needed.
And the results?
Quick with clear answers with their MRI health bundles.
Sounds like the future.
Call Specialty MRI at 636-591-1288. That's 636-591-1288.
I'm Stuart Varney, and this is the Fox Business Report.
Today, we'll find out if there was any progress on inflation in January. The Consumer Price Index is expected to reveal some improvement. Economist Stephanie Pomboy at Macro Maven says investors are no longer anticipating multiple interest rate cuts from the Federal Reserve this year.
Right now, the markets aren't really so aggressive in their expectations for rate cuts. Gone are the days when we were waiting for, 100 basis points of cuts over the next 12 months. They've got maybe, a little more than 2 cuts in the pipeline. And, right now, I have no issue with that.
Wendy's reports earnings this morning. The burger and chili chain is not expected to match its very strong quarter from a year ago. Also, vaccine maker Moderna releases quarterly numbers. That's your Fox Business Report. I'm Jenny Coselda, invested in you.
If you're over 40 and plan to retire someday, the window to protect what you've built may be smaller than you realize. As retirement moves from someday to on the horizon, protecting what you've built becomes just as important as growing it. And that's where Noble Gold Investments comes in. They help investors reduce risk by adding gold and silver to their portfolios. Visit noblegoldinvestments.com, noblegoldinvestments.com. Past performance may not be indicative of future results. Investing in precious metals involves risk. Consult with your tax or financial professional before making investment decisions.
Traffic from the 97.1 FM Talk Traffic Center.
We had a report of an accident involving a wrong-way driver on 44 east of Antire. Then I'm seeing some volume on the eastbound 44 west of 141, which is east of Antire. But I can't see if a lane is blocked. But just know that you may encounter a little bit of a slow go out there. But I don't see the flashing lights yet. I saw drivers on the way for it, so emergency vehicles headed that way. Now, eastbound 70 looks great at this hour. 6440 looks good. 55 is in good shape. And we are quiet on the Illinois side. So the rest of the area is in Friday morning mode with light traffic. I'm Sue Thomas with traffic on 97.1 FM Talk, St. Louis Conservative.
That is great news, Sue. And boy, if you don't have spring fever already, man, we're going to have temperatures in the 50s and 60s most of next week. You're probably starting to think about yard work. Now, obviously, the grass is still dormant for now. We're hoping trees don't start budding out. But if you have questions about your yard, there's only one source to go to, and that is Hanson's Tree Service. My friend Chad Hanson will send a certified arborist over to talk to you about what's going on in your yard. Maybe take a look at trees that need to be cut down. Now, they can do that here in St. Louis. If you're one of those people that has a property at the Lake of the Ozarks or in Branson, guess what? Hanson's Tree Service operates down there too. With one simple phone call, you can get all that taken care of. 636-379-1830. That's the number to call. If you get a hold of them right now, they're still operating under their 10% winter discount. It may feel like spring, but we're still in winter. And through March, you can get 10% off your tree care in your yard. Reach out to them today. Tell them Marc Cox sent you. It's hansonstree.com.
We all hear the radio ads about the IRS. They tell you to be afraid, to be scared, and they try to frighten you into calling. I'm not here to do that. Tax Relief Advocates is different. TRA is here to tell you that if you owe money to the IRS, whether it's $5,000, $50,000, or $500,000, we have a solution. It doesn't matter if you're sitting in your car, at work, or with your kids. No matter where you are, call now. 800-575-6986. Don't lose hope. TRA can eliminate or reduce what you owe to the IRS.
Generous programs are now available that can give you a fresh start.
Our passion is taxes and helping individuals fix their IRS problems.
We have over 1,000 5-star reviews on Google and an A+ with the Better Business Bureau.
You don't need to be afraid of the IRS any longer. End your tax nightmare today by visiting us online at TRA.com or call 800-575-6986. That's 800-575-6986. Tax Relief Advocates. Real solutions for real people.
Ready for instant curb appeal that comes with a 25-year transferable warranty? Call Rhino Shield today. We do brick, block, stucco, asbestos, aluminum, steel, cedar, and more. Over the past 20 years, we've done thousands of homes, businesses, churches, schools, condos, parking garages, large metal buildings, and strip malls, from Champaign to the Lake of the Ozarks. We do flat and sloped metal roofs to extend their lives too. Proud to be veteran-owned and manufactured in the good old USA. So we're tariff-free. We're exceeding expectations every day. Evaluations are free. A+ rated with the BBB and a lot of 5-star Google reviews. Call 877-25-RHINO, 877-25-RHINO, or 877-25rhino.com. See what we did there? Genius. Tell them, ladies.
Don't paint, don't Rhino, go Rhino Shield. Never paint your house again. Rhino Shield.
From O'Fallon, Missouri to O'Fallon, Illinois. 97.1 FM Talk, St. Louis Conservative. Kim on a Whim.
Kim on a Whim is proudly brought to you by Missouri Brush Control. Enjoy your land the way you've always dreamed of. Learn more at MissouriBrushControl.com.
Even though the mainstream media refuses to acknowledge that the Canadian school shooter is trans, is a biological boy who thought he was a girl and I guess casually wore dresses.
Well, they've acknowledged that he's trans. They just won't refer to him as a he.
But they skate right over it and they just say a woman. They really need to acknowledge right up at the top of the article, yes, a quote-unquote woman. He's not a woman, he's a man. He just thought he was a woman, and that matters. It does. That's not just me being a stickler about, I don't agree with this. The details matter. And more of these mass shootings keep going back to trans kids. I mean, just look at the list of these. So the Denver shooter, the Aberdeen, the Nashville shooter. Remember we talked about that? All those children who were killed. I mean, the list goes on and on.
The Charlie Kirk shooter.
Well, and they're not saying he was trans, but he was dating a guy who is trans and has like furry tendencies or something like that.
So he's a freak.
Well, maybe that.
Thank you. Whatever. He did it because of the trans issue. Even if he himself didn't consider himself trans, he was dating one.
Well, and we wonder why.
I mean, seriously.
We wonder why more and more kids are starting to question if they were born in the wrong body. Well, it's because of media. It's a whole full circle thing here that we're dealing with.
Yep.
So the Canadian Broadcasting Corporation had this show. This is 6 years ago. Mark, you sent me this, and this just blows my mind. There was this show called Drag Kids. Listen to part of this show.
I'm Bracken. I'm a 12-year-old hyper queen, meaning a 12-year-old female drag queen. My drag name is also my real name. Simple.
I'm Jason Kerr, and my drag name is Susan B. Anthony.
My name is Nemes. My drag name is Lactatia.
I'm Stefan, and my drag name is Lady Gaga.
Lady Gaga.
Drag is a lot of things. Drag is a performing art because you are the canvas.
Showing who you are, but like with singing and dancing.
Drag is just a self-expression and an art.
Can we get back to Lactatia for just a minute? I'm a drag queen and my name is Placenta. I mean, come on. Where the hell did you think that up?
There's no way that kid came up with that name on his own.
No way.
Lactatia? I'll guarantee you they don't even know what it means to lactate. If I asked that 12-year-old or whoever was in that video,
boy.
What does it mean to lactate? I'll guarantee you they have no clue. And somehow their drag name is Lactatia.
Lactatia.
And soon enough, these little 12-year-olds are going to grow up to wearing basically a thong and knee-high boots, dancing at going to drag brunches and getting dollar bills shoved into their thongs. This is their future.
You know, we talked about this a little bit with, I hate to go back to it, but with the Russian collusion, false reporting, what they did was called circular reporting. They released something to the media who reported on it, and then they went back and used the fact that the media covered it to legitimize the issue to try to get the warrants they wanted. When the media, I'll just point out here, Kim, because I think it said it in the article that I sent you. The kid that shot up Tumbler Ridge School would have been 12 years old when this show was airing, because it was 6 years ago.
Yeah.
So he was exposed to this at about the age where he decided he was going to transition. And what it does is it just reinforces this social contagion issue that we've seen right here out of middle schools in Parkway School District. According to the whistleblower at the WashU Transgender Center, you would have 10 or 12, if one girl came in, you'd have 12 girls who came in and decided they were transgender because of social contagion. When you're broadcasting that garbage to normalize that on television, it was called CBC Kids. Canadian Broadcasting Kids Network was broadcasting that show with those freaks of nature on there, making all these other kids think that's perfectly normal.
And that's why we have
to
care
goal.
about the content that's out on Disney and Hulu and all these other streaming services that our kids watch, because you start to see more and more of this, where all of a sudden there's a little dinosaur, that seems so innocent, and what do you know, it's a trans dinosaur.
Mommy, why do Bert and Ernie sleep in the same room? I mean, Sesame Street's been doing it for years.
It's true.
Absolutely.
But it's getting more and more overt. They're not.
Yeah, it's
I feel
more
like before
overt.
they would
I
try
would
to
agree.
hide it, whereas now they're really trying to throw it at you. And a lot of parents are wanting their kids to embrace it, and they say, "Oh, this is a conversation we need to have." And I mean, if we didn't put the idea in a kid's head that you could be born in the wrong body, do you think the average 10, 11-year-old would even have that thought? If they were having these feelings, do you think that would be the go-to?
I would argue no. I mean, I don't know where would they get that idea if they weren't exposed to it somewhere.
Right. Well, and now we're having the debate about these biological boys and women's sports. I don't understand how the feminists are not up in arms about this, trying to protect women's sports. And I heard this really disturbing story about this 16-year-old girl, Callie Keeler, out of Washington, who was wrestling. She had a wrestling match December 6th of 2025, so within the last couple of months, and she didn't realize at the time she was up against a biological boy. And I don't want to be too graphic here, but basically what happened, and you can see this kind of playing out with the video.
Right.
He has her pinned. He reaches his hand between her leg and
gropes her? Really?
Puts his finger there. So there was the independent journalist who I've actually played 2 clips from this week. Brandy Cruz, I think is how you say her name.
Right.
She talked to this girl, and you can tell how uncomfortable this 16-year-old girl is talking about what happened.
I didn't really know what to do or how to handle that situation. I just wanted the match to be over.
Yeah, but you immediately knew that wasn't right. It was nothing you'd ever experienced.
No.
And again, to reiterate, you don't know it's a biological boy at the time. You don't know your opponent is a biological boy. Yeah. So how long after that does the match end?
I was just kind of done with the match, so I just let them pin me. So like maybe 30, 40 seconds.
You can see her face. She's grimacing when she's
a victim of
feels
sexual
what's
assault
going on, and people are watching this play out. She said she just gave up because, understandably, she was being violated in front of everybody with this 190-pound transgender wrestler. It takes her about 2 days. She ends up reporting it to the school. The school, by law, is supposed to report this to the sheriff's office. Well, guess what? They didn't for, I believe it was about 2 months. They finally reported it to the sheriff's office, so there's now an investigation on that end, too. School won't comment anything further. But, I mean, this is the kind of stuff that you're seeing where the school's has a mandatory reporting law. They don't abide by that. And it's probably for the reason that they don't want to get this news out because it's a bad look on the school.
However bad you think this situation is, it's 10 times worse. It is. We've looked the other way for too long. We've allowed these liberal legislators and school board members and school administrators and to work into public policy rules that most parents would be appalled at, and they don't even know it. Like when employees are fired from a gym, for example, for reporting that there was a man in a woman's locker room. Instead of kicking out the man, they fire or try to get rid of the gym member who reported it. Mm-hmm. How is that a thing? Why are you still attending that gym? I read there's some YMCAs with that policy. How is that? How is a Christian organization have that policy where your daughter could be in a locker room with a fully intact male human being freak who thinks he's a woman? It's much worse than you think. the whole dispute over bathroom policies in schools. Why are we having that dispute? This is so simple. If you're that weird, go to a single bathroom and lock the door. You don't need to make everybody else uncomfortable for 1/2% of the school population.
And this is why
it's that bad.
These school board elections matter. I know
Yes.
we're talking to Jane Puszkar later at 8:35, but I mean that we can't stress that enough. That's why you need to get your butt out to the polls in April, not just for the general election. You have to get out for these quote unquote smaller elections, but they have a very big impact. And I don't know what it is. I'd be curious for people who don't vote what their reasoning is if it's like, okay, I don't have childcare coverage or whatever. I want to know, do you think your vote doesn't matter? Do you think school board's not important?
Yeah.
I don't get it. I probably used to be in that camp, and now I'm so far on the other side.
You understand. You get it. You are a success story, Kim St. Ange, and we love that.
From Hillary Clinton.
I'm telling you, you've come a
Donald
long
Trump.
way, baby. You've come a long way. All right, we're going to take a quick break as the wonderful and talented Missy is in here working on my computer over here, which is why I'm on a different microphone if you're watching us on the socials this morning. And they're trying to figure out what has gone horribly wrong with my computer this morning. That's okay. We'll be back in just a minute. Stay tuned.
Traffic from the 97.1 FM Talk Traffic Center.
Good morning to you. We do have a little bit of a slowdown this morning. Eastbound 70 between Wright City and almost Forestel. That's all due to road work. But for the most part, we are really looking good throughout the entire area. That's both the Missouri and Illinois sides. Light volume at this hour. I'm Sue Thomas with traffic on 97.1 FM Talk, St. Louis Conservative.
Sponsored by Gloria Lou with your home sold guaranteed realty 314-325-6888.
Need to sell your home and you want the most money? The name to remember is Gloria Lou. Yes, Gloria Lou with your home sold guaranteed realty at 314-325-6888 and start packing.
You know what? We're taking a little trip, and we're going to do some hiking probably while we take our trip. And I thank my friends at Victory Men's Health for giving me the energy, the vitality to still do those things. Because let's face it, aging is tough sometimes because your energy level drops. You don't recover from injuries like you used to. All that stuff. Victory Men's Health exists for that purpose, guys. They're there for you. It's just a matter of you taking that first step and reaching out to them. They have medical doctors, MDs with 30 plus years of experience in men's health, and if you're slowing down, it's because you don't eat right. Maybe my wife tells me all the time I should no longer at my age be eating like a teenager, but I would do that if I could get away with it all the time. So maybe it's that, maybe it's nutrition, maybe it's testosterone. It doesn't matter. It's going to be different for everybody, but you don't know until you get in there and talk to them and get the blood panel drawn, and they can set you on a course of correction. Reach out to them today. 4 convenient locations, no matter where you are. You'll be able to find a Victory Men's Health near your home or your work. Tell them Marc Cox sent you. Go to victorymenshealth.com.
Never miss a beat. Take 97.1 FM Talk with you. The voices you trust, Marc Cox, Annie Fry, Mark Reardon, Scott Jennings, and more are just a tap away with the Odyssey app. Stream 97.1 FM Talk, St. Louis Conservative.
Nothing makes a gathering great like Eggland's Best Eggs. They're just so delicious with better nutrition, too. For us, it's eggs any style, as long as they're the best. Eggland's Best. Better taste, better nutrition, better eggs.
Missouri Brush Control is helping landowners reclaim their property with selective land clearing. Whether it's for a building site, pasture reclamation, hunting, or trail creation, Missouri Brush Control can transform your unusable acreage into accessible and productive property. Enjoy your land the way you've always dreamed of. 5-star rated on Google reviews. See impressive before and after projects today at MissouriBrushControl.com. Missouri Brush Control, making acreage great again. Tell them Bo Matthews sent you to MissouriBrushControl.com.
Annie Fry here. If you're nearing retirement or already retired, call my friends Thomas Helbig and Bob Kershaw with the Retirement Advisory Group. They'll show you how linking to the market is much safer than owning the market for your retirement savings. They are the official financial advisors of my show. Go to retirementkey.com.
You're listening to the Marc Cox Morning Show on 97.1 FM Talk, St. Louis Conservative.
So your source still indicating that he is a suspect?
Nothing's changed. Nothing's changed. But I will say this, the day after I did that report, my source said things have really tightened up. The folks in the sheriff's department are worried about retaliation because of the leak. And I thought to myself, well, if it's not true, there wouldn't be any worry, you know?
Yeah, that is Ashley Banfield. Remember her? She used to be famous. I think she was on MSNBC for years. Had those big red glasses she used to wear all the time when she was younger. That when I think of Ashley Banfield, I get a picture of her in my brain of her wearing those big, oversized red frame glasses years ago. Clearly, she's moved on to contacts these days because she's not wearing those. But she's the one, like when this Nancy Guthrie thing first broke last week, maybe a week and a half ago now.
This is day 13.
Yeah, we talked about it here near the end of the show one day because the report was breaking that Ashley Banfield was saying that Savannah Guthrie's brother-in-law, Nancy Guthrie's son-in-law, was a suspect. Like immediately was a suspect. And I thought, well, that may be jumping the gun a little bit, but Ashley Banfield's been around a long time, and she claims to be reporting this from a pretty high-up source in the police department. And then they came out and said there are no suspects and all of that, and it kind of got watered down. But guess who hasn't changed her reporting? Ashley Banfield. Yesterday, she was on again on News Nation last night, and she's pretty adamant that although they put a lot of pressure on her source because they're scared to death of leaks, that her source still stands by, and she still stands by her initial reporting that this guy remains a suspect in the disappearance of Nancy Guthrie. Go to that other Ashley Banfield bite for me, if you don't mind, Ethan.
You had reported that Nancy Guthrie's son-in-law, the brother-in-law, Annie's husband, was a possible suspect here. Any more information about that?
I can tell you that my source every day since has stood by that reporting. And that is the thinking as of the day after Mrs. Guthrie was reported missing. There were a couple of things I reported in that, Dan, if we go back to Tuesday of last week. Number one, that Annie Guthrie's car was towed and is in evidence. That's borne out. The sheriff did confirm that the car was towed as per warrant and, is being processed. That's what the sheriff said. The other thing my source said was that the cameras were smashed. Now we've seen the person coming up and trying to, as the sheriff now uses language, tamper and disconnect. But Michael Ruiz is reporting that there are small glass fragments seen underneath the camera in that front entrance, which would suggest that if he couldn't grab it with his hands, or grab it with those shrubs. I don't believe he's trying to cover the camera with the shrubs, by the way. You don't get dangling flowers to cover a camera. I believe that he was actually trying, if you see his fist is really tightly around that shrub. I believe he was trying to get it between the Nest cam and its bracket to pull it off. That's what I believe.
So I did play that only because, I don't know what makes Ashley Banfield an expert on Nest cameras or Ring cameras or how you remove them from the wall. She's sort of like going a little Nancy Grace on me here. I watched her on Hannity last night. I can't get past what she looks like these days. She's almost, Nancy Grace is like a caricature of herself these days. And she always looks angry and she's looking into the camera with her little fake eyebrows and she's how dare they send that glove off to a private firm somewhere in Florida? Why are they not letting the FBI handle that? And maybe she's onto something. It is kind of weird that the sheriff's department is not fully cooperating with the Federal Bureau of Investigation down there. But I just wanted to play that for you because they did keep their car and they're processing it as evidence. And they did have a tent set up yesterday on the woman's property again. It's just so stranger abductions are so rare.
But this isn't a stranger abduction.
Well, that's what I mean. I don't know that. So that's why I'm saying.
So you're saying it's likely someone.
It's likely not a stranger abduction
absolutely.
because it would just be so random for them to pick that house in that neighborhood right after she got home that night, living by herself. And I don't know. It's the way it went down. Something seems odd. And I only played that because Ashley Banfield, who's been around for a long time as a reporter, claims to have a source who says that guy remains a suspect in that case. Now, maybe they don't have enough evidence to call him a suspect yet, but
well, they wouldn't publicly say
anyway,
that,
no.
and oftentimes they have more leads, I feel like, than they're ever going to disclose to us because it could hinder the investigation.
True.
They keep going over to his wife Annie's home, which is interesting then because you look at Savannah with her brother and Annie sitting right there doing those videos that, pleading like, hey, we really want our mom back, we'll pay you. The black gloves they found on the road. I don't know the proximity to Nancy Guthrie's home.
It was a mile or two away, a couple miles away. I think. Yeah.
I mean, unless they blew out of the window, there's no way they're the guy.
Or, and this is pure speculation on my part, some poor SOB pulled over, had to change his tire, got rid of the rubber gloves afterwards, and he's about to get his front door kicked in, and he had nothing to do with any of this. I guess we'll find out soon if there's any connection there. All right, next hour, we will get you an update on business with our friend Nicole Murray, and a little later, Dennis Hancock from St. Louis County Council.
If you suffer from burning, tingling, or numb feet, pay special attention as we discuss neuropathy with Dr. Patton, D.C. Doctor, what is neuropathy?
Peripheral neuropathy is nerve damage to the feet and legs.
What are the symptoms?
The symptoms are numbness, burning, tingling, pain, and loss of balance.
Is neuropathy treatable?
It's absolutely treatable, and we have amazing results.
If you have burning, tingling, numbness, coldness in your feet or hands or balance issues, call us at Comprehensive Integrated Health today for a nerve damage screening. The screening will tell if you're at risk for serious complications and if you're a candidate for our cutting-edge treatment program. Don't wait until your symptoms are so severe nothing can be done. End-stage neuropathy leaves people confined to walkers, wheelchairs, and even amputations. The first 10 callers will receive a free nerve damage screening. Call 636-538-5188. That's 636-538-5188 for your free nerve damage screening. 636-538-5188.
According to MasterCard, nearly half of small businesses have been a victim of a cyber attack. As cybercrime escalates, ThrottleNet is calling on businesses to strengthen their security posture by taking a free online IT security audit right from your desk. This 3-minute online assessment provides an immediate score to see security gaps and vulnerabilities in your network. For 26 years, ThrottleNet has supported your business IT everything right here in St. Louis. In fact, no client of ThrottleNet has ever paid a ransom. So visit throttlenet.com/971 to take the free assessment today.
Scott, remember when the Queen of Carpet and the Princess of Pile were flying around the arch selling flooring?
Andrea, that was the Queen of Carpet and the Princess of Tile.
Oh, that's right. But we don't need shtick here at Best Buy Flooring.
That's right, because our in-stock selection of carpet, carpet tile, sheet vinyl, laminate, hardwood, luxury vinyl plank, and luxury vinyl tile are already at low, low prices.
Come see us at our 3 area locations, North County, South County, and Metro East. Open 7 days a week.
Plus, free financing on approved credit. Best flooring, best selection, Best Buy Flooring.
When it comes to planning your retirement, there's a lot to think about. Portfolio management, tax planning, and retirement income just to get started. Steve All and his team at the All Financial Group focus on those things and more. Their goal is to help you achieve your goals. Call 636-230-8824 or online, yourmoneymattersstl.com.
Investment advisory products and services made available through Impact Partnership Wealth, LLC, IBW, a registered investment advisor. Insurance and annuities offered through Steve All, NPN number 153-07419.
Wait, Corey from Air Comfort Service? What are you doing in my basement?
Standing behind our work.
It's 9 p.m.
At Air Comfort Service Heating, Cooling, and Installation, we take pride in our work. If you need heating service, no matter the time of day or night, we're here to help with 24/7 emergency service.
So you're just going to stand behind my furnace?
Yeah, pretty much.
Can you hand me those paper towels then?
Absolutely. For heating service or HVAC maintenance, visit aircomfortservice.com. That's aircomfortservice.com.
KFTK FM Florissant from the Kaufman Townsley St. Louis's Injury Lawyers Studio. Call 314-777-7777.
That's 314-777-7777.
Here we go again. I'm Dave Anthony, Fox News. Funding runs out for much of the Department of Homeland Security at midnight.
So this would now be the third government shutdown in just 5 months.
And Fox's Madeline Rivera reports it'll be a partial shutdown affecting only Homeland Security.
ICE will likely face a limited impact because the agency still receives funding through the One Big Beautiful Bill. There are other agencies within DHS, though, that would be more affected.
That includes essential workers who'll go without pay again, like TSA agents and airport security. And And this is all about ICE as Senate Democratic leader Chuck Schumer demands immigration enforcement reform in new DHS funding.
Americans are watching what's happened in neighborhood after neighborhood across the country. They know it's wrong. They know it's excessive.
The Senate vote for new funding failed. The same day, Border Czar Tom Homan announced an end to the controversial ICE operation in Minnesota that led to big protests and 2 deadly shootings.
There are some issues here. We fixed those issues. We've had great success with this operation, and we're leaving Minnesota safer.
Classes are canceled at South Carolina State University after a shooting last night that put the campus on lockdown for hours. 2 people were killed, 1 wounded, no word on a suspect. It's day 13 of the Nancy Guthrie search. A glove found inside her home is being examined. And Fox's Matt Finn has more in Tucson, Arizona, on the man seen around the time the 84-year-old was kidnapped.
We now have an estimated description of that horrifying masked figure seen right here at the front door of Nancy Guthrie's home in that arched entryway behind me. The FBI is now calling that person a suspect. They estimate that he is between 5'9" and 5'10". They are calling him a male. The reward for the information leading to an arrest has been increased to $100,000.
There was a SpaceX launch early this morning.
3, 2,
A 4-person crew now going to the International Space Station weeks after the last crew was evacuated early with a medical evacuation. America's listening to Fox News.
Welcome back to Winter Hack Radio, the place for clever hacks to survive the season. Icy driveway? Well, try spreading sand or birdseed to help with traction. Snowy puppy paws? Well, grab a whisk, brush it off, done. Catch COVID-19? Well, just get...
Actually, there's no hack for COVID-19. But if you test positive, prescription medications for COVID exist. Ask your doctor if they're right for you. Visit PfizerForAll.com to learn more. Sponsored by Pfizer.
Did you know GoodRx can help you save on medication, manage prescriptions, and get trusted health information? If you're one of the millions living with a heart condition, check GoodRx for an easier, more affordable way to manage your health. GoodRx offers common heart medications for under $30. Just search for your prescription, find the best price, then show your pharmacist the GoodRx coupon. And it works whether you have insurance or not. To start saving and better manage your heart health, download the free app or visit GoodRx.com today. GoodRx is not insurance but can be used instead of insurance, including Medicare and other federal and state-funded programs.
Good morning, I'm Kim St. Ange for 97.1 FM Talk. Friday, February 13th, it's 6:03 right now, just below freezing, sitting at 31 degrees. The Missouri House passed a bill Thursday that would permanently ban doctors from prescribing puberty blockers or cross-sex hormones to minors. 40 Democrats voted against it, and some of them argue a parent and a child should have a right to make their own health choices. That bill now heads to the Senate for a vote. The historic Jewel Box in Forest Park may need to temporarily pause hosting events until some needed repairs are made. City officials say the Jewel Box needs about $5 million to repair fallen glass and rusting metal frames. The Jewel Box opened more than 100 years ago, and its last renovation was back in 2002. Senator Josh Hawley is teaming up with Senator Elizabeth Warren to go after Big Pharma. Their proposal would ban a practice that involves a single company controlling multiple stages of the healthcare industry, including, for example, insurance and pharmacies. Hawley says all this consolidation has driven up healthcare costs and decreased the quality of care. If their bill passes, it would require companies to comply with these new regulations within 1 year. All right, in sports, SLU hoping to continue its winning streak tonight when the Billikens take on Loyola. Tip-off is 7:30. Mizzou taking on Texas tomorrow. On Sunday, Illinois faces Indiana. And if you're wondering why we've not heard about the Blues, it's because they're on a break until the 26th. That's because of the Winter Olympics. 31 degrees now, coming up on 6:05. I'm Kim St. Ange for 97.1 FM Talk, St. Louis Conservative.
Traffic from the 97.1 FM Talk Traffic Center.
We are looking pretty good out there on the roads. Now, eastbound 70, we've got road work east of Wright City, and as a result, some slow-moving traffic through there. But then things open up and look fine, and then we look like a typical Friday morning with light volume in general. On eastbound 6440 and 44, we're quiet through North County and looking good on the Illinois side as well. I'm Sue Thomas with traffic on 97.1 FM Talk, St. Louis Conservative.
Triton Exteriors. We take care of your home. It's that simple. Triton-STL.com. Home improvement projects can come with a lot of headaches. We save you time by offering packaged services that are easy to understand and based on your needs. We take care of the details so you don't have to. Visit us at Triton-STL.com. That's Triton-STL.com.
Air Comfort Service, heating, cooling, and insulation, weather.
Pretty nice Friday across the St. Louis area. A little chilly out the door this morning, but a nice warm up. Plenty of sunshine. 59-60 for the high. Tonight, clouds take control. 40 degrees Saturday. Rain spreads in during the afternoon. Thinking mid to late day. 52 degrees. It is wet Saturday night. Periods of rain and chilly. 44. Sunday, basically a sunny day and 59 degrees. This is 97.1 FM Talk. Chief Meteorologist Dave Murray.
31 degrees downtown at the Arch. 6:06 is our time. You can take the Marc Cox Morning Show with you anywhere you go. Listen to us anytime. All you have to do is download the free Odyssey app.
The Marc Cox Morning Show is brought to you by Thomas Helbig and Bob Kershaw with the Retirement Advisory Group, retirementkey.com.
This is the Marc Cox Morning Show.
Welcome back. It is a Friday morning, a few minutes after 6. You're listening to the Marc Cox Morning Show. That would be me. Kim St. Ange right down here. Ethan Bright just across the monitor here from me. And, of course, Susan Thomas getting you to work. Been pretty good traffic morning so far, which is fantastic news. It has been a rough technical start for us. Kim, you looked very warm over there with the flames, the fireplace over your shoulder. Was that intentional this morning?
No, it's just nice. I walked in the studio and there was a roaring fire behind me, and I figured
Nice.
we should just keep it going.
Well, at some point this morning, we were probably hoping we could use it to burn down the technical equipment we were having problems with. But our crack engineering staff has most of it fixed, and including my computer, which I'm very happy about. Thank you, Misty, for coming in here. She had already been here 12 hours when I caught her, and she came in and fixed my computer so I can play radio host here for the next 3 hours because it wasn't working at all. And normally that's something they wouldn't get to till later in the day. But fortunately for me, they were still here because they've been doing some technical updates to our servers overnight. And it caused more than a few problems. And hopefully all those have been ironed out with the exception of the Odyssey app. The Odyssey app is still not functioning.
Are you sure?
Well,
I thought I
here. Let's
as possible. Thanks for your patience.
No.
Thanks for listening.
Yeah, you get a
Okay,
recorded
you're right.
message when you go to the Odyssey app right now. So you can join us on the socials. I'll just say X or Facebook or Rumble or YouTube, whatever you like, and you can watch it that way or you can listen over the radio. And my guess is the 971talk.com feed would be working as well, but I have not tried that. But it's all for an improvement because we needed a little upgrade back there in the back in the server department, and hopefully they've got that taken care of. The staff was here since like 4 o'clock yesterday, so she was working on 12 hours, and that there's a reason why she was our quarterly employee of the month last time around, right?
We love Misty.
I'm just saying. She did a great job. She got us taken care of, and we do appreciate that. All right, coming up a little bit later, we're going to talk to a couple of members of Congress this morning. Bob Onder and Ann Wagner both going to join us before the show is out to talk about apparently a number of Democrats, and I would guess there have to be some Republicans in this too, but I could be wrong, are on an overseas trip right now. I think somewhere in Germany. Eric Schmidt called him out there. Even some Democrats called him out for leaving right as another government shutdown is about to happen, and ICE is going to be let's put it this way. TSA may be the bigger issue. FEMA might be the bigger issue. ICE has funding provided for it by last year's big, beautiful bill, and I don't know if they're going to accomplish what they thought they were going to accomplish. That does not mean what you think it means. Remember that. And it's got to be frustrating. I mean, I don't think there's any way the Dems win this argument with the American people. If I have to have trouble flying for my business, because of TSA being shut down, I'm going to be angry, and I'm going to know who to be angry at. Every other bill got passed except this one because Democrats won't vote for it. Period. Not the Republicans. Republicans perfectly willing to pass it. It's the Democrats who won't pass it. There's just no other way to argue that, no matter how many lies they try to spin up in Washington, D.C. So we will talk to two of our local members of Congress coming up here before the end of the show. We're going to talk about some school board election issues, which are always important right now. There were more kids who walked out yesterday in the Francis House School District, Kim.
Yeah, I mean, we knew that was going to happen at some point with a lot of these districts, the bigger ones at least, these anti-ICE protests, but it's been kind of dying down. Again, we haven't really been hearing much from Minnesota, and so we haven't seen as many protests, but I saw there was I forget which school it was, if it was like Parkway South. Anyway, last week, it was like the number one most clicked on video from, I want to say, the Post-Dispatch.
And somebody sent us video yesterday. It would appear that whatever the walkout was not large, unless that was not a representation of the full crowd. The video, somebody sent us a video as they drove by the protest there in Francis Howell yesterday when it happened.
I think you'd have fewer kids doing it in Francis Howell based on maybe their parents' beliefs versus
I don't know,
a Parkway school district, because the parents might talk some common sense into them and say, sit your butt down in the seat and be in the classroom where you're supposed to be.
Yeah. So let me direct this comment to Joe on Facebook this morning, who just posted at 6:09, which is why I brought this up. I was just talking about our technical difficulties, and Joe is demanding to know why Alexa is telling her that Odyssey is currently performing scheduled maintenance. Why didn't they do that overnight? Well, Joe, they did do it overnight. And there were some glitches, which has affected the beginning of our show, right up to the beginning of our show this morning at 5 a.m. and continues to cause problems with our Odyssey app and apparently Alexa as well, but we're working on it. So rarely do these things go off 100% successful when you start unplugging things in the back. So we are working on it. I apologize. I'm certain they will have that up and running again very shortly. So don't you worry about it. We are on it. Our crack engineering staff is on it. They're still in the building. I'm telling you, they've been here since yesterday about this time. So we'll get all that taken care of for you. We got a check of business coming up in other news before the end of this hour. And right now, we're going to get to our top stories, please.
The Marc Cox Shortlist, presented by Rhino Shield.
Here we go. Hold on. This is not a technical difficulty. This is a Mark difficulty here. Here we go.
Look, I mean, you phrased this as a retreat from Minnesota. I would say it's not a retreat. I would say it's a successful mission that is now over.
Yeah, thank you, Joe Borelli. All of the media yesterday, I was watching the Daily Mail, all of them, minutes after Tom Homan finished speaking, the Trump administration collapses and withdraws from Minnesota in the face of massive protests. No, they didn't. That's not what happened at all. Did you not listen to a word that came out of Tom Homan's mouth? It was a massive success despite the screaming children, which is how the adults are acting in Minneapolis over the whole thing.
Immigrants and families of immigrants, we see you. Whether you are a citizen, whether you have no documentation, and an asylee, TPS, any of those, we see you, we hear you, and that's why we are speaking out for you who cannot be here today, because we love you and we are fighting for you. Thank you.
I wonder, that Georgia State rep there, I wonder if they're not there because they got deported. You think? We see you and we hear you, immigrant community. We love immigrants. We don't want illegal immigrants here. It's so simple.
I've been telling you all week, keep an eye in Arizona. I think there's a Georgia-like event in Arizona, like what happened in Fulton County.
Very few reporters in Washington, D.C. as plugged in as John Solomon. So if he tells you there is going to be a raid somewhere in Arizona today to deliver a warrant to take custody of some voting machines, for example, you can probably take that to the bank. So be watching for some news out of Arizona a little later today.
The Republican bill on the floor allows ICE to smash in doors without warrants, to wear masks and not be identified, to use children as bait for their parents. No oversight. Today we are making it clear we are not funding ICE.
What a liar. What a bald-faced liar that guy is. Chucky Schumer. The bill on the floor today doesn't change anything about the tactics of ICE, and it doesn't add any new law or teeth to what ICE does. Nothing. All it does is give them more resources to do what Congress has already given them permission to do. Chuck Schumer is a liar, and he needs to try to find some excuse to not vote to fund the police, and that's all this is. Take it to the bank. The Democrats are going to lose this if they shut down the government over it. I honestly and firmly believe that's what's about to happen here. I'm just telling you. All right, quick break here. We're going to take a quick break because I want to get back to a little bit of what we had reported yesterday on this Guthrie case. We've got some new news out of a couple of the reporters out there, including Paul Morrow, who is doing a fantastic job for Fox. We'll get to that. We're going to have, of course, some more on the hearing yesterday with Keith Ellison and Josh Hawley. That was pretty amazing if you missed some of that. And we'll get to another news about 6:45.
Traffic from the 97.1 FM Talk Traffic Center.
We look pretty good on the roads at this hour. If you're headed out early this morning, then things look good. Eastbound 70 is in great shape, even in Wright City, so we're fine out there. Eastbound 64 looks good. No delays downtown or on the Illinois side. Yep, it's a typical Friday morning with lighter volume. I'm Sue Thomas with traffic on 97.1 FM Talk, St. Louis Conservative.
I don't know. I'm lucky. I get to work in a studio every day, protected from the weather. But for the folks that work outside, they must be loving this stretch of weather we're having here in the middle of February. I know my friends at Home Shield Foundation Repairs probably feel the same way. They can come out and they can take care of your foundation. Your foundation might be the cement patio that is the concrete patio that's poured around your pool, or maybe your back pad that you've got where you sit out and you enjoy the weather has started to sink on one corner because of soil erosion. One of the many services they do at Home Shield is they can polyjack that area. They can fill that void with something solid, a polyurethane that they'll give you a 5-year warranty on their work. They level it back up. The water won't pool there anymore. You won't have to worry about tripping. Maybe it's a porch that's pulling away from your house. I've seen some pretty amazing videos that my friend Matt Hayes has sent me from Home Shield.
Since we have lawyers,
so be sure that you
states,
can take care of that and ignore the noise you hear going on in the background, because Home Shield Foundation Repairs can do that, and they can take care of any waterproofing issues if your basement is leaking with a lifetime warranty. 314-271-9900. That's 314-271-9900 or HomeshieldFoundationRepairs.com.
How much went to medical bills? And since we have lawyers in all 50 states, I see and hear lots of lawyer ads. It seems that most are bragging on what they got their clients. But be careful. If you heard that someone sold their car for $500,000, you would be impressed. But if you later learned that it was a rare $10 million Ferrari, would you say that person got screwed? And that's before you even know if it's true. Who is fact-checking? And how much went to medical bills and lawyers' fees? If you want to get an idea what your case may be really worth, visit forthepeople.com and go to Settlements and Verdicts. You will see what a law firm like ours is capable of. And fact-check for yourself. All that glitters is not gold. We became America's largest injury firm for a reason. We won big, a lot. At Morgan & Morgan, we represent consumers. Morgan & Morgan, forthepeople.com. Injured? Dial #law or visit forthepeople.com for an office near you.
What if every time you spent money, you saved money too? With Achieve It Checking from Together Credit Union, you can do just that. Every debit card purchase is rounded up to the nearest dollar, and the spare change goes right into your savings. And here's the best part. Together Credit Union boosts your progress by matching qualifying savings up to $8 a month. It's a free checking account that helps you achieve more automatically. Learn more, or better yet, enroll today at togethercu.org. Together Credit Union, federally insured by NCUA.
They're good.
Gooder than you can imagine.
And you can assure me that they've got it going on.
Most of St. Louis thinks so.
But my lips are turning blue. Are they fast?
My darling, Jerry Kelly can install a new furnace tomorrow, no matter what day tomorrow is, even if we call late night.
You are my hero.
Technically, Jerry Kelly is your hero, but I'll take it.
JerryKelly.com. They're fast and they're good and they got it going on. JerryKelly.com.
You're back with Marc Cox and Kim St. Onge. The Marc Cox Morning Show, 97.1 FM Talk.
If you're feeding a person a crap sandwich with a smile, it's still a crap sandwich.
All right. Can I just tell you how underwhelmed I am by the Olympic Games so far, Kim?
Have you been watching much?
Well, I haven't, because I'm not really that interested in it. Like, there's not a storyline. The Lindsey Vonn, I was briefly interested in her until she got injured on trying to make her comeback. But it's weird to me. I don't know why it's different than years past, but remember the days when you couldn't wait to tune in and watch Michael Phelps or Katie Ledecky get in the pool, or one of these gold medalists who was going for down the ski slopes, or the Jamaican bobsled team. Like, there was some big story that was surrounding it, and there was a little bit of drama. But the drama this year is our Olympians are a bunch of whiners. I mean, seriously, I've got to listen to people apologizing for America while wearing American Olympic uniforms. Get the hell out of here. Do you not realize the opportunity that's been laid at your feet? Have you learned nothing from your history? Somebody's done these kids a major disservice by letting them go overseas and show their rear ends and whine about American politics because their parents have TDS and they've been brainwashed by this nonsense. It's ridiculous. And why do I need to know what your sexuality is if you're an Olympian? Can somebody please explain that to me? Why is that anybody's business? And of course, I'm talking about this Breezy Johnson.
Yeah.
Did you hear that yesterday?
Yeah, she's the first openly gay. I forget if is she a
Who cares?
Yeah.
She's bi. She's not gay, which is worse because you can't make your mind up. I don't get that. Listen to this.
I came to the conclusion that I was bi, and then very quickly thereafter came to the conclusion that I had to tell people that because they deserve to know that the world of champions is not just comprised of straight white people. I can't.
Bruce Jenner. So suddenly, Bruce Jenner becoming a woman is not legitimate in the eyes of the LGBTQ community because Bruce was a white male. Was that it? Or is it because Bruce's politics, even though he's wears a dress these days and puts lipstick on, is he still a Republican? Maybe not a conservative, but he's still a Republican. So this snot-nosed girl thinks that she has to come on and say, we need the world to know that not all Olympic champions are white, straight white people.
I mean, this girl's just turned 30 years old a couple weeks ago. I mean, she's not young. She's not old. But I mean, what happens if 10 years down the road, she's like, you know what? I kind of regret going on national TV and talking about my sexuality at the Olympics.
Thank you. Because she got engaged to a dude. So she's now picked sides. I'm sorry. You didn't get engaged to a woman at the Olympics. You got engaged to a guy. There's a picture of her being proposed to, breezy. I don't know if it was before or after she won her gold medal. But then she had to look into a camera and say, I'm bisexual. And you need to know that because not all Olympic champions are straight, white, cisgendered people.
I hate that term.
Seriously.
They've always tried to make the Olympics political. I mean, this isn't anything new where they start talking about these current events and all the Olympians weigh in on it. But it does get exhausting because some people tune into sports because they want reprieve from what's going on in the world because some of it is heavy and it can get exhausting trying to keep up with all of it. And so when you flip on the Olympics and that's what they're talking about too, it gets a little bit old.
Well,
I don't need to know who you're sexually attracted to when you go down the hill. Just go down the hill and I'll say, do I think you deserve a gold?
I'm thinking about Olympics past, and I'm thinking about people like Greg Louganis.
I don't know who that is.
He was a diver, a gay diver. That's who cared. I mean, I don't even remember him talking about it at the time. You could just tell. And he
because of the
famously
way he was diving.
No. But famously, Greg Louganis is the one that did some big high dive, and he flipped too close to the board and smashed his skull into the back of the board. The video is famous. You can find it on the internet. Scott Hamilton, I think he was a figure skater,
yeah,
right?
He was. He was gay. I guess that makes sense.
But the point is, none of them made that an issue when they were Olympic champions. I don't remember that being an issue.
Because it wasn't celebrated. If these athletes, if they use their platform these days to say, I'm trans or I'm this or I'm that, quote unquote minority, then they're celebrated. You're automatically elevated to this hero in a lot of people's eyes.
They may think that.
It gives them, no, it's true. It gives them instant fame. We look at that and say, this is ridiculous. We're tired of you talking about your sexuality. But other people look at that as like, oh my gosh, you're my hero.
I'm sorry.
Like it or not, in their mind, they're making history. They're making history.
None of it makes any sense to me, and I think what it's going to do is continue to damage the Olympic brand. Winning a gold is not going to mean nearly as much when you go out of your way to alienate half of the American public who might be trying to support you, who don't care what your sexuality is. Go swim, go ski, do whatever the hell it is you do. Keep your personal life out of it. Keep it on social media if that's what's important to you. Don't wait for your first chance to get in front of a camera to make a complete ass out of yourself, which we'll get to in other news later because that happened during the Olympics too. It wasn't an it wasn't an American Olympian, but there are lots of apologies going on another team, and we'll get to all that for you a little later in other news. I promise you that. Coming up next, we'll check in with our friend. We believe Nicole Murray is back, and we'll get you a check of business.
When you're approaching retirement, there are a lot of questions to answer. Do you have enough money to fund your income for life? How should you claim Social Security? And what's your plan for health care and long-term care? Hi, I'm Eric Robert, Director of Investments with the ClearPath Wealth Management Group at Stifel and host of On the Money Saturday mornings at 11 on 97.1 FM Talk. Don't leave your retirement to chance. It's crucial to understand and address relevant risks before you retire. Our team can help you get organized, guide you through critical retirement decisions, and create an investment portfolio designed around your needs. To schedule your free retirement plan consultation, go to clearpathinvesting.com. That's clearpathinvesting.com. Or call us at 636-695-2650. That's clearpathinvesting.com or 636-695-2650. Stifel Nicholas and Company Incorporated, member SIPC and NYSE.
Just forwarded my friend Curtis Carell's name to a good friend who is got to get the upper half of his house painted. He owns an older home, and he doesn't want to cover up the beautiful brick on the lower half of the house, but the upper half had some old siding on it. He needs to get that covered up, and he's going to call Curtis Carell to come out and take a look at his roof as well, because he's discovered he's got a little bit of a leak, and he needs to get that patched before winter gets here. He may need or before summer gets here, I should say, and he may need a new roof at some point. Now, Curtis is going to be honest with you, because right now, generally speaking, it's been too cold to put a roof on. And if roofers are telling you otherwise, they're lying to you. This brief stretch with a week in the 50s or 60s, maybe. But that's a quick turnaround to get a roof put on. If you're having roofing problems or you just want an estimate, you want somebody to check it out, call Curtis Carell, 314-222-9529 or CarellRoofingCo.com.
Good morning, I'm Kim St. Ange for 97.1 FM Talk. Coming up on 6:31 here this Friday morning, 31 degrees. A mom tells Channel 5 the same guy who's accused of killing Sam Linehan at Starbucks robbed her at gunpoint just a few days earlier. The woman says she was in the drive-thru at the Jack in the Box on Grand Boulevard, so in the same area, with her daughter when the man, she says, put a gun to her head and said, "Give me everything you've got." She says she handed everything over to him and eventually started chasing him. She says at that point, the guy fired a shot into the air and she ran back. Missouri lawmakers are pushing to fast-track redevelopment here in downtown St. Louis. Representative Brad Crist would allow areas like downtown to apply for additional tax credits. The tax incentives would be available for 10 years. House has not yet voted on the bill. In sports, SLU faces Loyola tonight. Tip-off is 7:30. I'm Kim St. Ange for 97.1 FM Talk, St. Louis Conservative.
Traffic from the 97.1 FM Talk Traffic Center.
We've got an accident on northbound 270, really close to 70, and they've got the right side blocked. Traffic is a little bit slow through there. There was an accident reported with a car partially into a ditch, Hillsborough Road near Highway O, as in Ocean, this morning. And we're starting to see some volume now on northbound 55, headed into the construction zone. No surprise there, but especially just north of Weber Road and headed toward the Carondelet area. If you are headed in from Illinois, we look fine on the bridges downtown and on the Illinois side in general. I'm Sue Thomas with traffic on 97.1 FM Talk, St. Louis Conservative.
All right, let's talk about Rhino Shield for just a minute, because I enjoy my relationship with Darren over there. He's been great, longtime supporter of this radio station. So when it comes time to cover up whatever's on the outside of your house, you need to go to Rhino Shield. That is fantastic, and my friend Darren will come over in person and give you a free evaluation of whatever it is. And here's the great thing about it. He's going to show you the before and after pictures of some of the, let's say, 3,800 jobs, Rhino Shield jobs he's done around the area over the past 20 years. I'm telling you, there's just about nothing, very few things, let's put it that way, that you cannot put Rhino Shield on. And if you're a business owner, guess what? That's no maintenance on the outside of your building for a long time. If you're a homeowner, you get a 25-year warranty with the paint job, because it just eliminates so many problems. Water's not seeping in because it's 100% waterproof. It gives you an insulation factor because it rejects 90% of the sun's rays. And, look at anything. Look at your car. If it sits out in the sun, the finish fades. Same thing happens to the paint on the side of your house. Not with Rhino Shield. It is beautifully durable. It lasts and lasts and lasts, and that's why, because it's lab tested, they have so much confidence that they can give you a 25-year warranty on it. Call today, and maybe they'll get you started next month. How about that? 877-25-RHINO or online at 877-25rhino.com.
Your home deserves siding that's as tough as it is beautiful. At Lakeside Renovation and Design, we install James Hardy siding, built to handle everything the St. Louis weather throws its way, rain, snow, or summer heat. Not only does it look amazing, but it also protects your home with long-lasting durability and low maintenance. Plus, with our expert team, you'll love the seamless installation process. Ready to give your home a stunning upgrade? Call Lakeside Renovation and Design today or visit lakesiderd.com. Protect your home with the siding that's built built to last.
Diabetes, high blood pressure, anxiety meds, everyone's on them. If you're a 50-year-old male, maybe a bit porky, and you may even have type 2 diabetes, $1 million of term insurance may only cost you about $200 a month. Call Term Provider. Speak with Big Lou at 800-700-6898. Big Lou will find a term life policy for you even if you have type 2 diabetes, are overweight, or have high blood pressure. Term Provider has helped thousands of people like you who think they can't afford term life insurance. To buy $1 million of affordable term life for you, all you need to do is call Big Lou at 800-700-6898. Lou will make sure the scales are tipped in your favor. Call 800-700-6898. Big Lou will answer your call and work to fit you into a term life policy that you can afford. Remember, Big Lou's like you. He's on meds too. Call 800-700-6898 or biglou.com.
25 years strong. 97.1 FM Talk. St. Louis Conservative.
All right, if you're just joining us this morning, guess what? We just sent some more astronauts back up to space. I got to watch the launch. It was successful a few minutes ago. They're sending 4 crew members.
Gail King?
On a I wish. She's a rocket scientist, isn't she?
Well, I think she's an astronaut and probably also a rocket scientist. If she's been in a lab, it makes her a rocket scientist.
Who was the singer they sent up? I can't remember.
Katy Perry.
Katy Perry. Yeah, they're all.
She's also an astronaut.
Brilliant, but they barely made it up into space and came straight back down. These guys are going to be guys and gals are going to be up on the International Space Station for a few months now. I think an 8-month stay, and then they're gearing up for that next launch, and that's the one where they're going to go back to the moon. Mm-hmm.
Or Ethan's mind go for the first time.
Or go to the moon for the first time if you believe what Ethan believes, that all that was filmed in a studio somewhere out in the desert. I don't know. But they are getting ready for that next. I guess they're getting the rocket ready, and they're making sure that everything else is in order, because that's kind of a big deal. There was a time when the world would stop to watch a rocket launch, and
now it's like, another one.
Yeah.
Another one's going to space. Better hope they're not stuck like that one crew. The crew of 3 people they were stuck for months.
They had some technical, but I guess they were afraid to bring them down.
Just a few technical issues. Now, Mark, I know we've had technical issues this morning, but let's be thankful that we're down on Earth when these technical issues happen, that we weren't stuck in space.
We just need to stop whining, Kim.
We really
Don't
should.
You think?
I'm
sure there's a message somewhere that I've missed on the text line this morning at 314-241-9797 that we've missed somewhere on the text line, complaining about my technical problems and my ribs all combined.
It's like Inception.
Is there one message there?
Not yet,
I'm
but
not
it'll
allowed
probably
to say anything about that anymore.
Coming.
All right. Let's get to Nicole Murray, please. Nicole Murray, good morning to you.
Good morning.
Hey, welcome back. Good to have you on this morning. What's going on in your world?
I am getting ready to do Atlantic City for a Valentine's Day little celebration.
Well, cool. I was up there so many years ago. That was back when they were having all kinds of problems keeping the casinos open. That's how long it's been since I've been to Atlantic City. But I loved the boardwalk and all that. Was great.
Yeah, I'm bringing the dog and everything, so should be romantical.
How's your weather up there for that?
Oh, I haven't looked. I think it's going to be really cold, hopefully it's nothing a few mojitos can't fix.
There you go. See, warms you right up, huh?
Yeah, so just looking to get away a little bit. So
good for you.
Should be good. Yeah. What about you guys? Any Valentine's Day celebrations?
I'm going to be in the mountains. I'm taking a little trip to the mountains for the weekend. So yeah, that should be pretty cool.
Is that a guy's trip? I can't remember.
It is not. It was actually something my wife's always wanted to do.
Okay.
So we're going.
We don't really have any plans.
We're going to go on a sled dog ride.
How romantic!
Isn't that awesome? Yeah,
that is cool.
With the guys behind us mushing the dogs.
Are they huskies?
I don't know. He's pretty famous up there for starting this as a rescue, where he would rescue dogs from the local pound that were obviously not Pekingese or whatever. They were big enough. They were big enough to pull a sled, but I don't know if he's transitioned to Huskies over the years or not, but my wife's more excited about seeing the dogs than actually probably riding on the sled, for all I know.
It's a very, very fair thing. So I get where she's coming from.
I guess the guy would have to have rules because the dogs need to kind of focus on what they're doing.
There's got to be a weight limit, too.
What are you saying? Are you saying I'm fat?
I'm not saying that you...
Are you suggesting I'm
not
fat?
saying that you exceed the weight limit, but there has to be... That question has to be asked, because otherwise, how would the dogs be able to pull someone who's like 400 pounds?
I'll bet there are weight limits, because I was also...
Sir, I'm sorry, you're too large for the sled.
For another trip, I was looking at a trip in Banff, north of Glacier, where you take a horseback ride into the wilderness to a lodge, and you stay there for like a week, and you take various horseback excursions up into the mountains. And there is it's either a 215 or a 220 pound weight limit for the horses. They won't put you on there if you're bigger than that, unless I guess they happen to have a draft horse, which is big enough to support you. I never knew that.
Oh, see?
I bet you John Wayne weighed more than 215 pounds.
Who?
I bet a lot of people do.
I've been to John Wayne's
in all the westerns. In all the westerns, they all rode horses. I didn't know. I never knew there was a weight limit on. I mean, I could.
Well, people didn't really have to worry about that back then.
I could see you wouldn't put a 600-pound person on a horse, but my point is, I would think 250 would be a reasonable.
You sure they weren't donkeys?
What are you talking about?
Like it was donkeys instead of horses.
For who?
The riding. Why
no,
would they
they're
have
not
a weight
donkeys.
limit?
No, it's horses.
Well, maybe there's other stuff they put on the horses, and so your weight coupled with that, because if you're camping there for a week, they have to haul all your stuff.
No, you go to a lodge, and then you kind of work off that. So I don't know. It's just funny that I found that out the other day. So what's going on in the business world?
All right, here we go. Futures are slightly lower. Thursday, the Dow Industrials fell 669. The NASDAQ down 469. The S&P 500 down 108. Investors got some good news this week on the state of the labor market, and more may be and more may be on the way later this morning. A Dow Jones consensus forecast predicts that the consumer price index is expected to show a 2.5% gain from a year ago. Data drops at 8:30 a.m. Eastern Time. McDonald's focus on value is paying off. The fast food giant said that its global same-store sales jumped 5.7% in the October to December period. McDonald's fourth quarter revenue and earnings also beat analyst expectations. Amazon's Ring has terminated its partnership with police tech company Flock Safety. The partnership came under scrutiny after the Amazon doorbell company ran an ad during the Super Bowl that touted a search party feature that uses AI to help locate lost pets. Xiaomi's electric car venture has succeeded in dethroning Tesla in China, at least in January. China Passenger Car Association data reports that Xiaomi's YU7 SUV ranked first in China by sales last month, with nearly 38,000 units sold. This is roughly double as many as Tesla's, which is amounted to 17,000 Model Y vehicles. Baidu has added OpenClaw to its search app for 700 million users. Previously, the AI agent could only be accessed from chat-based apps such as WhatsApp or Telegram. The integration comes as Chinese tech companies compete for new AI users ahead of the Lunar New Year holiday. And finally, the theme today is romance. A new study says that men sleep better when next to a woman. Meanwhile, women sleep better next to a dog. That's right. Yes.
No way.
Yeah, think about it. A cute little scruffy little puppy versus a big, gross, yucky, sweaty man. What's the difference?
Mark?
Well, I just have to say, my wife gets the best of both worlds because that dang golden retriever is right in between us every night.
Aww.
So she gets separated from the big sweaty man by the dog that's laying in the middle of the bed.
So I don't have a dog right now. I've had a dog in the past, and I used to let my dogs in the bed. But when you think about it, it is kind of gross when you think about where their paws have been. And then you're letting them in your bed and put their paws over your face.
I wipe them off and all that stuff.
I didn't wipe them off. So
I live with people that kiss the dog on the nose and the mouth, and I'm like, do you know where that nose has been? Like they're just oblivious to it because they're crazy about the animals. So I don't know.
Aren't most men dogs anyway?
Well, there you go.
Hey,
it's a DAGG.
Yeah, dogs. They dogs.
You have a great time up there, Nicole, in Atlantic City. That sounds like fun.
Thank you very much, you
All right.
guys.
Yep. Have a good weekend.
By the way, going back to the horse conversation, someone wrote in our text line, horses should not carry more than 20% of their own body weight on their back, rider plus saddle. Most saddles weigh 20 to 25 pounds.
Well, there you go. I had no idea. I just never thought of, I don't think of 215 pounds as being that heavy.
No.
But I just never crossed my mind. I do know when we went horseback riding in Glacier one time, they took the two guys aside and put us on larger horses that looked like Clydesdales. They weren't Clydesdales, but they refer to them as draft horses. They had those really big hoofs. So they did put us on bigger mounts. And maybe that had something to do with it. I never asked the question.
So this would be an 1,100-pound horse would be able to carry about 220 pounds. But again, you think about before cars were a thing and everyone just rode horses, you didn't have a McDonald's on every corner. So the weight thing wasn't as big of a factor. It's a factor now.
Yeah, but what about knights back in the day with armor on?
Well, okay, but they were also probably okay. Yes, you're right. But
even that stuff heavy.
No, you're right. It is very heavy. But even with the armor, don't you think those guys were like 5'8" and weighed like 160 pounds?
You know the other difference. PETA didn't exist back then. There was nobody pointing out to them that was probably mean to the horse. So they didn't know.
Horses might have been bigger too.
It's true. Coming up, we'll get to in other news. Next hour, we're going to talk to candidate for St. Louis County Executive Dennis Hancock about some of the budget cuts that St. Louis County is facing right now and maybe potential tax increases that are being kicked around. And we got Congressman Bob Onder on the Capitol Beat at 7:35.
Traffic from the 97.1 FM Talk Traffic Center.
Well, there was an accident on northbound 270 at 70, and they have been blocking that right lane. So if you're traveling in that area, that may be there. Oh, no. Look at that. They just got that cleared. So things are fine through there. And we've looked good throughout the area. Just a little moderate volume appearing northbound 270 at Big Bend and also at 64. 55, a little bit slow, starting right around the Bayless area. And it goes through the construction zone, and then it opens up. We look fine on the Illinois side in general, but also on the bridges downtown. Things are looking good. I'm Sue Thomas with traffic on 97.1 FM Talk, St. Louis Conservative.
If you're in the business of working for a living and you drive a truck, my guess is you probably have diesels in your fleet. And if that's the case, who's working on them for you? That would be my question for you. I have found the best kept secret in town, and that is Shelton Automotive Group, because I happen to drive a light duty Ram, that 1500 with an eco diesel in it. It's got a diesel engine. Shelton Auto Group out near Warrenton is the place to go. I'm just telling you, they service medium to light duty diesel trucks. They can service bigger ones as well, would be my guess. But check them out online, sheltonautogroup.com. My friend Grant out there will get you taken care of. They can get you in much sooner than some of these big dealerships, because you need to get your truck back on the road so you can make money. Or you can pull your camper or whatever it is you're doing with it. They'll work on your Duramax, your Cummins, all those motors. Plus, they sell work trucks as well. You can look at their inventory online right now. They provide great business financing for some of these big flatbed trucks, or if you're hauling a big heavy trailer, you got to have a Super Duty of some sort, whether it's a Ford. I mean, they've got Ford, Rams, Chevys. They've got all of them out there, and at great prices. So check out Shelton Auto Group. Call them at 314-202-4060, or just go online to sheltonautogroup.com.
Hey, it's Mark Reardon. Fish Fry Fridays are here again, and you know what that means. Join us for our Fish Fry Friday kickoff at Fish Fest. The crew will be live February 20th at Holy Trinity Serbian Orthodox Church. See the menu and learn more at 971talk.com/events. Hey, it's Mark Reardon for the Doctors at Ophthalmology Associates. We call them the Doctors because they've treated more than 250 doctors, more than any other practice in St. Louis. So if you're looking for the best doctors for your best vision, it's Ophthalmology Associates. Doctors Greg Birdie, Ranjan Malhotra, Robert Brusati, and Andy Royer. Doctors Birdie and Malhotra are cornea surgeons and experts in the diagnosis and treatment of diseases of the eye. I had an eye disease when I was younger. It left me with a silicone buckle around my right eye, so I put my trust in Ophthalmology Associates to take care of my annual checkups. Maybe you're experiencing dry eye, allergy eyes. They can help. They can help with cataracts, macular degeneration, glaucoma, and LASIK surgeries. And if you're looking for the best eye care, it's Ophthalmology Associates. Make an appointment today by calling 314-966-5000 or online at youridoc.com. They have a great office location just west of 270 on Manchester Road. Again, the phone number, 314-966-5000. The website, youridoc.com. Ophthalmology Associates.
Join us on February 15th at Powell Hall as the St. Louis Symphony Orchestra and St. Louis City SC brings us Eternal, a tribute to Tina Turner, presented by Purina, with special guests Brittany Howard of Alabama Shakes and Kennedy Holmes. Experience the ultimate journey through Tina's immortal catalog. Tickets are limited. Get yours now at slso.org.
If you're trying to sell your home, there's only one group of agents in town I trust, Mark and Neil Gelman of eXp Realty. My friends Mark and Neil have the best system, options, and strategies to connect you to the best qualified buyers, getting your home sold fast and for top dollar. Check out thegelmanteam.com.
Start the new year off on a healthier note by taking Active Liver supplements from New Nordic every day. Available online at Amazon or NewNordicUSA.com or at your local CVS, ShopRite, Meijer Grocery, or Wegmans.
You're listening to the Marc Cox Morning Show. 97.1 FM Talk, St. Louis Conservative.
What's happening?
Go, you know the thing.
What the hell is going on?
In other news.
Are you catching all this?
Is it Norwegian?
It is.
I don't know why I do that with an accent.
That was Norwegian biathlete Sturla Holm, 28 years old, took home the bronze medal on Tuesday, and he is a skier, and ended up using the post-media, whatever you want to call it, interview.
The news conference. Yeah.
Thank you, to basically say he apologized for cheating on his girlfriend of 6 months. And people got mad because it basically took the limelight away from the guy who won gold. So he ended up apologizing to his teammates, and now it turns out he bought his entire team dinner to apologize for stealing the spotlight.
So
from
the
his
guy that
gold
won
medal
gold
winning
was
teammate. He's also he's a Norwegian.
The guy that won gold was mad because it distracted from his time in the limelight.
I don't know if he himself was mad, but I just know that there was some talk of, dude, you shouldn't have done that because no one's.
No.
It didn't work?
No.
Like the girl didn't forgive him?
No,
no,
she
yeah,
didn't.
no.
Oh.
And that's fair. Just because you win a medal doesn't mean that you should be.
This didn't happen in Olympic Village, did it?
No,
like,
I don't
while he
think
was
so.
away.
He cheated.
No.
Well, that's a problem, apparently.
Yeah.
They're
I'm all
very
about
promiscuous.
forgiveness, but I don't know that going on international TV is your best route.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, he did admit it. He had admitted it to her before this, but he thought this would try to win her. It didn't work.
It didn't work.
So note
Public
to everybody
humiliation
else.
did not work for you, dude. Sorry. All right. Apparently, there's another problem with the Olympic athletes that are winning gold medals. Rough problem to have, but apparently they're not making them the way they used to, and several of them have broken. Alyssa,
not the medal themselves.
Alicia
right?
Liu won the gold in the team event, and she revealed that her medal broke, making her the latest athlete whose medal unexpectedly detached from its ribbon.
Yeah.
So she said the medal broke. I don't know. It fell off the ribbon, got very scratched up and pretty dented when it fell. And she was happy to keep her medal, but the Olympic people said, we're going to take it back and give you a new one. So that's nice.
I wonder how much those cost.
I don't know.
For a gold medal.
$2,300.
Wow.
They can't be solid. They can't be solid gold then, because that's like
way
$5,000 an
more,
ounce.
They're over silver, I think.
Okay.
Yeah.
This is an interesting story. A prosthetic leg was lost by a swimmer in England and ended up washing up 10 months later on a beach about 14 and a half miles away.
Wow. Just kind of floated around the corner. And how did they make the connection? They
Well,
have a name on it?
This was a custom-made titanium leg. Cost the swimmer more than $2,700 carried out to sea when she was knocked over by a wave. And I don't know if her name was on it, but I guess somehow they realized that it was her leg, and they are sending it back to her.
Isn't that something? I'm assuming if it's titanium, it probably sank, right? It was probably got rolled up on the shore eventually like a seashell or something. It wouldn't float. I wouldn't think it would float. I don't know. Oh, well, there you go. The number of Americans who anticipate having high-quality lives 5 years from now has dropped to a 20-year low. And apparently this is the first time this has happened in a long time. So it's new polling from Gallup. Since 2020, future life ratings have fallen a total of 9.1 percentage points, projecting to an estimated 24.5 million fewer people feeling optimistic about the future. Future life score ratings among Democrats and Hispanic adults drove that drop. So there may be some TDS happening here. I'm just saying. It's possible.
Probably.
I just read that. Democrats' overall optimism rating dropped 7.6 points last year alone. And Republicans stayed essentially the same.
And then in a few years, if a Democrat wins, all of a sudden they'll be a little bit happier.
Absolutely.
That's how it works.
Yes.
Mark, I know you had no luck getting a deer. What, last year or maybe the year before, too? Is that right?
No. That's true.
Just rubbing that in his face.
Well, maybe this would help.
I got one last year.
If a deer got stuck, then you would have a clear shot of it. Police in Minnesota had to come to the rescue of a deer. Poor little thing had its antlers stuck in a hammock. It was so sad. It just got twisted around. So there's video of them trying to untangle this deer's antlers from a little hammock.
I watched one of those videos. There's a group of people that do animal rescue videos, and I made the mistake of watching one time, and now they fill my feed up all the time. They do this with sea lions that have stuff stuck around their neck, and they do it with deer that get caught in fences. Yeah. And, I mean, it's dangerous work because that deer's trying to kill you while you're in there with a pair of snippers trying to cut it free.
Yeah.
It's swinging back and forth, and it's hard to get a hold of. I don't know how
you
they
saying
do it.
I'm trying to help you isn't going to work.
No, the deer does not. It thinks you're going to eat it. Which a lot of people might, right? Absolutely. Those are the videos you don't see.
Deer sticks with jalapeno are phenomenal, by the way.
Oh, yeah. All right, coming up, we'll get to Dennis Hancock. If you live in St. Louis County, talk about another tax increase to pay for senior expenses, even though the seniors have got a property tax freeze going on right now. We're going to talk about that and some other issues with Dennis Hancock about 7:20. Marc Cox here. Join me, Annie Fry, and Mark Reardon and learn how to create a worry-free retirement with the Retirement Advisory Group. It's coming up on Tuesday, February 17th at the DoubleTree Hotel in Chesterfield at 6:30 p.m. Here are Bob and Tammy Kershaw with more.
Are you nearing retirement or already retired and wondering how to turn your 401k and IRA into a worry-free retirement? Would you like to learn the strategies that give you market growth but protects you from market losses at the same time?
Would you like to get a free personalized retirement income plan? And did you also know if you're 59 and a half or older, you can roll over your company retirement plan tax-free to create a worry-free retirement? If you're 59 and a half or older, you cannot afford to miss this event.
Have a worry-free retirement and join the official financial advisors of my show, Bob and Tammy Kershaw, at the DoubleTree Hotel in Chesterfield, Tuesday, February 17th at 6:30 p.m. Go to retirementkey.com. That's retirementkey.com.
Meet Linda. She's stuck in a school pickup line, thinking about what to make for dinner. Are the kids' practice jerseys clean? If she sent out that last email before leaving work. But you know what she's not thinking about? Her HVAC system. Linda is a preferred partner with Air Comfort Service Heating, Cooling, and Installation. Members get 2 HVAC system checks per year. We clean and inspect your HVAC systems at each visit. Partners also get priority service and exclusive discounts starting at just $19 per month. Life is chaos, but with Air Comfort Service, you'll have peace of mind with your HVAC system. Visit aircomfortservice.com today. After all, comfort is our middle name.
The ACA Marketplace has announced significant increases on their monthly premiums for 2026, with deductibles over $10,000. You can enroll with Greg Hammond's Freedom of Choice plans now. You don't have to wait. One of their plans lets you use any doctor, has 0 outpatient deductibles, and it's 30 to 60% lower costs than most Obamacare plans. Other options are full coverage PPOs with national networks, copays, and 100% annual preventative care. Also, there's no income disclosure required, so no potential tax penalties. If you pay for your own health insurance, you're uninsured, you're on COBRA, or your employer coverage is just too expensive, call Greg and they'll provide all available options. Call 314-794-7784. That's 314-794-7784. Or go to greghammonds.com. That's greghammonds.com. He can custom design a plan managed and chosen by you, not the government.
When it comes to lighting, Graybar goes beyond parts and products. We help contractors turn plans into smart designs, manage kitting and deliverables, and navigate local codes so you can stay on time and on budget. Smart, scalable, job site ready. That's not just lighting. That's like kicking your project into Graybar mode. Yep, Graybar does that.
KFTK FM Florissant from the Kaufman Townsley St. Louis's Injury Lawyers Studio. Call 314-777-7777.
That's 314-777-7777.
Another partial government shutdown looms at midnight. I'm Dave Anthony, Fox News. This only affects the Department of Homeland Security because funding runs out for much of DHS. Democrats, including Senator Chris Murphy, blocked new money, demanding immigration enforcement reform.
If the agency starts behaving lawfully, if they start obeying the Constitution, then we can get back on the same page. This is an exceptional moment in this country's history.
And though ICE operations are already funded,
the consequences of a shutdown hit federal employees at a range of agencies. Republicans say you could see an impact at the airport or in disaster recovery zones. Tens of thousands of employees at FEMA and TSA may need to work without pay for the third time since October.
Fox's Chad Pergam at the Capitol. They have found a glove inside Nancy Guthrie's home, and on day 13 of the search for her, the FBI says the masked man in gloves seen on video around the time of the 84-year-old's kidnapping is 5'9" or 10.
Reward for the information leading to an arrest has been increased to $100,000. The suspect is also believed to be carrying a backpack called an Ozark Trail Hiker backpack. The FBI believes that is what he was carrying that night.
Fox's Matt Finn in Tucson, Arizona. We will be less safe, less healthy, and less able to fight climate change. That's what former President Obama posted on X, reacting to President Trump, rescinding what's called the endangerment finding that he calls a hoax and a scam from the Obama era in 2009 that underpins a lot of climate regulations to limit greenhouse gases.
This was a ripoff of the country by Obama and Biden.
Democratic governors and environmental groups plan legal challenges to the EPA deregulation. There's a new crew headed to the International Space Station.
Ignition and liftoff. Go Falcon, go Dragon.
That SpaceX launch early this morning comes weeks after the last crew was brought home early from the station when one astronaut had a medical condition needing treatment. America's listening to Fox News.
Welcome back to Winter Hack Radio, the place for clever hacks to survive the season. Icy driveway? Well, try spreading sand or birdseed to help with traction. Snowy puppy paws? Well, grab a whisk, brush it off, done. Catch COVID-19? Well, just get...
Actually, there's no hack for COVID-19. But if you test positive, prescription medications for COVID exist. Ask your doctor if they're right for you. Visit PfizerForAll.com to learn more. Sponsored by Pfizer.
Here's the tale of Tina, searching up and down for decent GLP-1s, but got spun around.
Till Good RX wrote in, hey, we got something new. GLP-1 prescriptions, all FDA approved.
Brand name meds, no flags that are red.
Clear pricing from the start. None of those hidden fees in your cart.
Delivered to your door or pick up same day. Darn tootin'.
Save time and money on prescriptions.
Hotfoot it to goodrx.com/weight loss. GoodRx is not insurance.
Good morning, I'm Kim St. Ange for 97.1 FM Talk. Friday, January 13th. Cloudy and cold right now. 31 degrees now. It's 7:03. The Missouri House passed a bill Thursday that would permanently ban doctors from prescribing puberty blockers or cross-sex hormones to minors. 40 Democrats voted against it. Surprise, surprise. Some of them argue a parent and a child should have a right to make their own health choices. That bill now heads to the Senate for a vote. The historic Jewel Box in Forest Park may need to temporarily pause hosting events until some necessary repairs are made. City officials say the Jewel Box needs about $5 million to repair falling glass and rusting metal frames. The Jewel Box opened more than 100 years ago. Its last major renovation was back in 2002. Senator Josh Hawley teaming up with Senator Elizabeth Warren to go after Big Pharma. Their proposal would ban a practice that involves a single company controlling multiple stages of the healthcare industry, so for example, insurance and pharmacies. Hawley says consolidation has driven up healthcare costs and decreased quality of care. If their bill passes, it would require companies to comply with the new regulations within 1 year. In sports, SLU hoping to continue its winning streak tonight when the Billikens take on Loyola. Tip-off 7:30 for that game tomorrow. Mizzou takes on Texas. Illinois faces Indiana on Sunday. And if you've been wondering why you haven't been hearing much about the Blues, it's because they're on a break until the 26th because of the Winter Olympics. 31 degrees now, just before 7:05. I'm Kim St. Ange for 97.1 FM Talk, St. Louis Conservative.
Traffic from the 97.1 FM Talk Traffic Center.
Wow, we've got really light traffic out there this morning, and that's from North County all the way down into Jeffco. And there's a little bit of volume on the Illinois side, Route 3 at Monsanto Avenue, but for the most part, we look great. And if you are eastbound on 70, it looks good from Warrenton all the way into downtown. This report is brought to you by Overhead Door Company of St. Louis. 100 years. That's how long Overhead Door Company of St. Louis has been repairing and replacing garage doors. For same-day repair service and no extra charge for evening or Saturday service. Overhead Door Company of St. Louis. Schedule online, overheaddoorstlewis.com. I'm Sue Thomas with traffic on 97.1 FM Talk, St. Louis Conservative.
Air Comfort Service, heating, cooling, and insulation. Weather.
Pretty nice Friday across the St. Louis area. A little chilly out the door this morning, but a nice warm up. Plenty of sunshine. 59-64 the high. Tonight, clouds take control. 40 degrees Saturday. Rain spreads in during the afternoon. Thinking mid to late day. 52 degrees. It is wet Saturday night. Periods of rain and chilly. 44. Sunday, basically a sunny day and 59 degrees. This is 97.1 FM Talk. Chief Meteorologist Dave Murray.
31 degrees now. Our time is 7:06. You can take the Marc Cox Morning Show with you anywhere you go and listen anytime. It's really simple. All you have to do is download the free Odyssey app.
The Marc Cox Morning Show is brought to you by Thomas Helbig and Bob Kershaw with the Retirement Advisory Group, retirementkey.com.
This is the Marc Cox Morning Show.
All right, welcome back. Happy that you're here with us. It's a Friday morning. It's kind of a chilly start today. It's in the 30s out there, but it is going to recover nicely. A little bit of rain over the weekend, but wow, man, have you looked at that extended forecast?
60s?
The next week is going to be incredible. So far above normal. We are going to absolutely get spoiled by that because this is second and third and fourth winter will be here soon. You know it. Between now and April, we're going to be enjoying that for sure.
We do get another daylight of hour. A daylight of hour. Another, wow. Let me try that again.
A daylight of hour? When does that happen?
Hour of daylight, March 8th. I know we lose an hour of sleep. That's the flip side of it. But we do, it won't be dark by like 5:30.
Yeah, we're going to, what was that noise? I'm sorry.
That was a daylight of hour.
Oh, okay, all right, a daylight of hour. When that happens, the debate will rage once again on why don't we just pick one? And they can't seem to do it. Now, I would argue for daylight savings time, personally. That's just me. But whichever way they go, I just wish they would just pick one and stick with it. I just think it's silly to keep screwing with people's sleep schedules, and you're going to be tired for the first few days after it goes back to the other way, and it's just crazy.
I'm sorry, I'm laughing because someone on the text line said, Kim, it's February. Did I say it was January 13th? I probably did.
Did you really?
Clearly, I made coffee this morning, and it was so hot I couldn't really drink it, so I have basically a full cup in front of me. So I've not only said that it was January, but I've also said daylight of time. So sorry about that.
The beauty of that is we can hit rewind on the Odyssey app, which is now working, and we can figure out if you said January or February.
I bet you I said January.
Friday the 13th. Are you superstitious at all?
No, sorry. I was thinking of a friend's quote. He's like, I'm not superstitious, but I'm a little stitious.
It's a little stitious. That's all. Yeah, Friday the 13th. But
people freak out about this day.
That's true. I know. I don't.
Probably not leaving their houses.
Don't get that.
Hotels still don't have many of them don't have a 13th floor. People don't want to stay on it.
I know. Yeah. So that's what's going. Coming up, we're going to get to Dennis Hancock in just a couple of minutes. He's a St. Louis County councilman. He's running for county executive, and he is going to join us. We'll talk a little bit more about the possibility that they have floated out there about the chances of a tax increase that's been floated. It hadn't been voted on, I don't think, but they're going to limit hours at the county satellite office. The Elections Commission was quick to point out they're going to have regular hours, that it's not going to affect them. They could close a couple of pools in the county. That's about time to cut some expenses, right? That's what they're going to have to do. So we're going to talk that over with Dennis in just a couple of minutes. We'll get to Congressman Bob Onder at the bottom of the hour, talk about the government shutdown and DHS and all of that good stuff. So we got it all ahead for you. Right now, though, we're going to get to our top stories, please.
The Marc Cox Shortlist, presented by Rhino Shield.
I know Tom Homan has been big on this lost children thing, but the idea that these children were lost or missing has never been true.
Wrong again. Abby Phillips on CNN, who's never met a fact that she could discuss intelligently, wants you to believe that the thousands and thousands of unaccompanied minors that Joe Biden allowed into this country and then just released them into the interior with adults that had no connection to them are doing just fine on their own. Thank you.
You helped fraudsters defraud your state and this government of $9 billion, and you got a fat campaign contribution out of it. You ought to be indicted.
Josh Hawley letting both barrels fly on Keith Ellison yesterday in that hearing because Ellison was there, he said voluntarily, but he was under oath. And they were asking him about things like cooperating with ICE and not cooperating with ICE. I should add that as well. And also the billions of dollars in fraud with groups that he was apparently taking campaign contributions from.
That was a video on, as you know, voter fraud. And fairly long video, and they had a little piece and had to do with the Lion King. It's been very well, it's been shown all over the place long before that was posted.
That's true. The president once again talking about the video that came out last Friday that briefly caused a media uproar, and he's still not apologizing for it, in fact.
You're an American citizen to get registered to vote, and you got to show a dadgum photo ID to vote. And that ID, 213 Democrats used their IDs to vote yesterday. Nobody hollered about racism there.
Tim Burchett, man, he's that down to earth guy like Senator Kennedy down there in Louisiana, and he's like, here's the dadgum truth about the whole thing. All those Democrats that voted against funding DHS or voted against the SAVE Act or whatever it is they voted against, when you vote in the United, and we can talk to Bob Onder about this at the bottom of the hour, but when you go in to vote in Congress to make sure it's you, they have an antiquated system where you take your congressional ID and you have to plug it into a slot. It looks like an ATM machine. And then the lights on the left light up for you to vote yes, no, present, or like abstain or whatever.
And I assume there's a camera to make sure the ID is...
Sure.
Yeah.
So the same members of Congress who clearly consider themselves smart enough to get a congressional ID think it would be racist to force American citizens to get an ID.
They would say they're privileged. Don't you think?
Yes.
No, you're right. The argument is ridiculous. But they would say, well, I'm privileged. I'm a member of Congress. How can we possibly force people to have to go get an ID, even though they have to prove their citizenship for the stupidest things, like some doctor's appointments ask you, are you a U.S. citizen? But no, to vote for a general election, you shouldn't have to prove that.
No.
That's offensive.
Well, I mean, Tim Burchett was just like, this craziest thing I've ever seen.
It's just ridiculous, folks. This thing is just about corruption and it's about control. And the Democrat Party ought to be ashamed.
Wow, you nailed that accent there, Mark.
Almost. I've almost got him. Burchett. I can do a better Burchett than I can Senator Kennedy, I think, at this point. That guy's great. He does a lot of those like Jimmy Fallon does when he's walking down the street in New York with his camera. He doesn't say, "Hey, girl," but he records himself. And he does it like really low. If you watch Burchett when he does these videos, he records it from like down at waist level.
That's not a flattering angle, though.
Well, but he's skinny enough he can get away with it. Like most of us, you'd only see double chin if you did that. So I like, if I'm taking a video, I'm taking it up here so that people are looking down at my face and you don't quite see that little bit of fat right there under the chin. So it's just easier, right? I mean, I don't know why Burchett does that. Just an observation. If I ever get him on the show, I'm going to ask him why he records his videos from waist level when he's walking along.
That's his thing.
Maybe his shoulders hurt and he can't hold it out.
You could do your own walk.
Remember selfie sticks? Do people still use those at all?
Oh, I bet they do.
When we went to Europe, probably 7 or 8 years ago, we went to Italy. That was when those things were all the rage, and they banned them in places in Europe and Italy because people were being so obnoxious with them. Like you couldn't go in. I believe there's a time when you couldn't go in the Colosseum and some of the other spots over there with the selfie stick, and they were selling them. The vendors were selling them on every corner. Because they were so popular for a while. And I haven't seen one in ages.
No, I haven't either. Don't people just hold their arm out? I mean, that's the OG selfie stick.
Well,
I just hold my arm out.
If you have short arms, you're at a disadvantage, right? It's harder to do. So people were using the selfie sticks, and it did look better, I think, when it was further away from you.
There's a snowboarder I follow on Instagram, and he uses one.
He still uses one?
Yeah, but I think it's easier because you're snowboarding, so he holds it out for
while he's snowboarding. Mm-hmm. I watched a little bit of that Olympic stuff last night, and I was just amazed at how good they are at doing the flips up in the air.
Oh, yeah. Did you see the guy who was skiing? He was a French skier, and they'll have like the markers in the snow, and he went right in the
got hit in the groin
area.
Oh,
and he keels over. You can hear it. He's like, oh, and he's. Did he have to stop in the middle, or did he finish it? But he was just keeled over.
He stopped. Trust me,
he's going to stop doing a lot of things after that hit.
At 30 miles an hour. Wow, however fast they go downhill. All right, coming up, we'll talk to Dennis Hancock after the break. Stay tuned.
Traffic from the 97.1 FM Talk Traffic Center.
Well, a really good commute this morning. If you're traveling through North County, now's the time. It looks great. The volume we do have is because of an accident westbound 6440 near McCausland. If you're traveling in that area, there is a delay. It goes back to about Clayton Skinker. I was trying to see what lane it's in, but it just happened, so I'm not getting to... It may be closer to Big Bend, but that's what's causing a delay. And it goes back to Clayton Skinker, and that's the worst of it. Eastbound 70 looks good. 64 eastbound in good shape. Northbound 55, we're quiet on the Illinois side in general. Looking good this morning. I'm Sue Thomas with traffic on 97.1 FM Talk, St. Louis Conservative.
Hey, let's talk about what's going on next Tuesday, the 17th, out at the Doubletree Chesterfield. The Retirement Advisor Group is going to get together again to teach you how to protect your nest egg from market upheaval, because you know it's going to happen. So Bob and Tammy Kershaw will be out there. Annie Fry, Mark Reardon are going to be out there, and they're going to hang out with you before this gets started. It's a room full of 97.1 listeners. Always is. They fill it up. That's why, even though it's a free event, they'd like you to let them know you're coming. That way they're sure they have enough chairs, they have enough pieces of paper and pens for you to take notes and all that good stuff. But it's free, and it's a great chance to sit down in a relaxed environment, listen to information you need to know if you're headed into retirement, whether you work with them or not. This is information you need to be aware of. And if you decide you want to work with them, you fill out a piece of paper and you hand it to them when you leave, and they'll call you. They don't harass you. There's no pressure to sign something or anything like that. It's just great information to learn how to protect your nest egg, your 401k, your IRA, whatever it happens to be. Call them, tell them you're coming, tell them you heard Marc Cox talking about it on 97.1 and you want to be there. 314-993-9494. Again, next Tuesday, February 17th at 6:30 at the DoubleTree in Chesterfield. Go to retirementkey.com.
I'm here with my friend Stewie. And, Stuart, I know a lot of people are talking about lowering their monthly payments with their mortgage, but there are other smart ways to save lots more dollars, like maybe going to a shorter loan. What about this tug of war between the president and the Fed? Rates going down, maybe going up. What do people need to know right now?
All right, Annie, you know what's going on in the government. It's causing interest rates to go down. Now, this is a great opportunity. A lot of people call us all the time and say, hey, what's the rate? I can lower my payment. I can do better cash flow. And I understand that. Quality of life is having more money in your pocket so you can enjoy life overall. But have you thought about going from a 30-year to a 20-year mortgage? Interest rates on a 30-year mortgage are higher than interest rates on a 20. Maybe convert the 30 to a 20, keep the payment about the same, and save hundreds of thousands of dollars.
Call 314-324-4440 or text 314-324-4440 and ask Stewie about the Bagel Loan. Google the Bagel Loan, NMLS number 226715.
I'm John Morgan of Morgan & Morgan. If you've been injured in a car accident, call America's largest injury law firm. For over 35 years, my mission has been to deliver more for our clients, to deliver more for you. Injured? Visit forthepeople.com for an office near you.
Does heart disease run in your family? Give yourself peace of mind with our cardiac MRI bundles at Specialty MRI. Personalized scans designed to give you clear, meaningful answers. No long waiting rooms. Scan today for a peace of mind tomorrow. Call us at 636-591-1288. That's 636-591-1288.
This is the Marc Cox Morning Show on 97.1 FM Talk, St. Louis Conservative.
All right, St. Louis County facing some challenges when it comes to the budget. There's no doubt about that. We've got County Councilman Dennis Hancock on the phone this morning. He's also, in addition to being in the 3rd District, he is running for county executive on the Republican side. Dennis, welcome back. How are you?
I'm doing well, Mark. Thanks for having me on this morning.
You bet. Thank you for giving us a few minutes to talk about this important issue. Clearly, with restricted hours at like the government center and the talk of closing a couple of pools, it sounds to me like those are fairly small steps to reduce the budget.
Well, yeah. Well, you mentioned the pools. The Parks Department is funded through a special tax, so I don't know what if any impact that's actually going to have on the general fund, which is used to fund the police, to fund street repairs and things like that. But this is just another example of Sam Page throwing a temper tantrum because he didn't get what he wanted with the budget. And so we it's like I like to use the example. If a kid goes to his mom and says, "Mom, can I have 4 cookies?" and Mom says, "No, but you can have 2." Well, he still has more cookies than he started with.
I mean, if you're saying that the money that would pay for the pools to stay open doesn't even come from the general fund, so it doesn't make sense why he's saying, "Oh, we're going to close those to save money." Do you think this is just theatrics from Sam Page because he knows this will upset the parents and that will drive them to want to take action and say, "You mean St. Louis County Council? I can't believe you're doing this to Sam Page. Give him the money he needs for the budget."
Oh, that's exactly what it is, Kim. It's he doesn't want to take responsibility for his own incompetence. And so it's a question of who else can I blame? And so he's blaming the council, which, is fine. We took the fiscally responsible actions to try to pare down the $80 million budget deficit that he handed us in October.
Well, it wouldn't be the first time he's done that, would it?
Absolutely not.
No, I mean, I'm trying to think of some other examples, but I know there have been other times when he's tried to shut something down to as basically punishment for not giving him what he wants.
Right. No, that's a normal course of action for him, and it doesn't work. Hasn't worked in the past. It's not going to work this time either. So, and I think all it does is to make people happy that come the end of the year they're going to be done with him.
Let's talk about what some of the specific cuts would be, Dennis. I know the Post had a rundown of what some of those spending cuts would be, but it's like $55 million in reductions, correct?
That's what the council came up with on its own, and it's across the board, every department. But it really wasn't using the word cut is a bit of a misnomer. What we did was we reduced the amount that they asked for. Just like the cookie example.
Yes.
It's not that we actually are giving them more money than they spent last year across the board. It's just that, the way the county does their budgets is they budget based on last year's budget. And so they take last year's budget and add whatever percentage they want to it. And now it's, becomes this, oh my gosh, you cut the budget. No, we haven't cut anything. Because they only spend about 85 to 90% of what we give them.
Right. I've always heard this argument in Congress, and it's always driven me crazy that if you reduce the amount of a planned increase, a lot of the politicians and bureaucrats in Washington will complain that their budget's being cut. Well, it's not being cut.
Right.
It's still going up. It's just not going up as much as it was going to.
Right. No, that's exactly right. And so we are trying to educate the public with the fact that, no, we didn't cut anybody's spending. And the two pools that he's going to not open weren't going to open this year anyway because they have a lot of repairs that need to be done, and they weren't going to get done.
So, but I also thought that I read an article saying that Sam Page was threatening additional cuts could come from the health department and public safety. So would that be the same thing where it's not really a cut?
Yes. Yeah, that's exactly right. And as far as the health department is concerned, we do so many things in the health department that aren't required by either the charter or the state statutes. We could find a lot of money there to cut. And so I don't think any cuts that he makes there are going to be really of any real consequence.
Well, Dennis, most of us can't wait until the Page era is over, and that's going to happen because he's not running for re-election. Tell me how you would handle this if you were in charge as county executive.
Well, and I think that begs a bigger question, Mark, and that is, we need somebody who has the experience to do that and who's done it, either in government or in the real world. And and I've done it in both places. Where I've been faced with budget shortfalls. I've been, revenues are shrinking, and how do you address the needs that have to happen? And it's not a difficult process. You sit down, you look at it, you go, okay, I've got $20 to spend. I can spend all 20 of it and fix this problem, or this problem, or I can spend the same amount of money and fix other problems. So it just becomes a matter of prioritizing what it is that you want to do and what the taxpayers want us to do.
So, are you suggesting that you've run something bigger than a Senate office?
I ran the city of Fenton for 12 years, and when I took over as mayor, we were facing a very similar problem to what we have in the county. We were spending money faster than it was coming in. Our reserves were almost dried up, and we couldn't seem to understand why we didn't have any money to spend on things.
Right.
And so we sat down, put a plan together, executed on that plan, and when I left office, we were in a whole lot better shape than we were when I got there.
Absolutely, yeah. And this talk of somebody, we had David Stokes on last week from Show Me talking about the possibility of a tax increase for senior services. Is that still a thing?
I think there are people that are talking about it. From my perspective, any tax increase, whether it's that particular one or if it's the use tax or anything else, I don't see the voters proving anything this year. Because what we would be doing essentially at St. Louis County is saying, we've been terrible stewards of the money that you've given us, so give us more to spend, and we'll do a much better job with that.
Yeah, that's always
the solution.
That's always the argument. Dennis Hancock, listen, we appreciate your time this morning, my friend. Thank you.
Thanks, Mark. Appreciate it. You guys have a great weekend.
You too, Dennis. Thank you. Good to get him on here and running for county executive for St. Louis County. Coming up, Congressman Bob Onder is going to join us. The Democrats took a vote and then got on a bus and an airplane and left the country, even as the government's about to shut down. We're going to talk to Congressman Onder about that in the Capitol Beat coming up.
Welcome back to Winter Hack Radio, the place for clever hacks to survive the season. Icy driveway? Well, try spreading sand or birdseed to help with traction. Snowy puppy paws? Well, grab a whisk, brush it off, done. Catch COVID-19? Well, just get...
Actually, there's no hack for COVID-19. But if you test positive, prescription medications for COVID exist. Ask your doctor if they're right for you. Visit PfizerForAll.com to learn more. Sponsored by Pfizer.
Pizza's here.
Oh, great. I'd love some, but I'm worried about my stomach issues.
If you're worried about having diarrhea, gas, bloating, stomach pain, or loose, oily stools, it may not just be stomach issues. It could be a condition called exocrine pancreatic insufficiency, or EPI. With EPI, the pancreas doesn't release enough enzymes to break down food, but EPI is manageable. Use the symptom checker on identifyepi.com and talk to your doctor. That's identifyepi.com. Sponsored by AbbVie.
All right, you've got some decisions to make if you've got problems with the concrete around your house, the driveway, the basement, the front porch. All of it can be affected by the soil. It does. We build on a lot of clay around here, according to my friend Matt Hayes at Home Shield Foundation Repairs. That's why he's the foundation specialist. He can explain to you the kind of pressure that soil puts on the walls of your basement. That's why it leaks sometimes, right? Cracks appear. You need to get that fixed. Matt's the guy to do it. I'm just telling you, if you need your driveway leveled up a little bit, they can polyjack that and they can get that fixed for you. Either thing you get done, waterproofing or the driveway, they're going to give you a warranty on that work that goes along with it. So call them today and get them scheduled while the weather's good. 314-271-9900. That's 271-9900. Online at HomeshieldFoundationRepairs.com.
Good morning, I'm Kim St. Ange for 97.1 FM Talk. Sunny and 31 degrees now at 7:30. A mom tells Channel 5 the same guy who's accused of killing Sam Linehan at Starbucks robbed her at gunpoint a few days earlier. The woman says she was in the drive-thru at the Jack in the Box there on Grand Boulevard with her daughter when a man came up, put a gun to the back of her head and said, "Give me everything you've got." She says she handed everything over, but then ended up getting out of the car to chase him. That's when she says he fired a shot into the air and she ran away. Missouri lawmakers are pushing to fast-track redevelopment here in downtown St. Louis. Representative Brad Criss' bill would allow areas like downtown to apply for additional tax credits. These incentives would be available for 10 years. The House has not yet voted on the bill. All right, in sports, SLU facing Loyola tonight. Tip-off for that game, 7:30. Mizzou takes on Texas tomorrow. Illinois faces Indiana on Sunday. I'm Kim St. Ange for 97.1 FM Talk, St. Louis Conservative.
Traffic from the 97.1 FM Talk Traffic Center.
Well, we've got some debris reported westbound 6440 at Big Bend. That's the cause of the delay in that area. They were cleaning it from the right lanes, so expect a slow go that goes back through Hampton. Now, that's the worst of it. It's a Friday morning and we look great. So eastbound 70 looks good, Wright City into downtown. Eastbound 6440 is in good shape. Northbound 270, a little bit slow. Clayton Road overpass, headed for 64. On the Illinois side, there's some volume. On westbound 64 at 159 in that construction zone. But in general, we look good on the Illinois side and on the bridges downtown. This report brought to you by Lakeside Renovation and Design. For over 25 years, Lakeside Renovation and Design has been St. Louis's trusted choice for transforming homes inside and out. From windows and siding to kitchens, baths, and outdoor spaces, they deliver quality craftsmanship backed by lifetime warranties. Visit lakesiderd.com to start your dream project today. I'm Sue Thomas with traffic on 97.1 FM Talk, St. Louis Conservative. Well, we spend decades saving for retirement, and that's good, but how many people ever learn how to turn those savings into lasting income? Well, that's where financial and tax architects come in. They help people across St. Louis work to protect their life savings, minimize taxes, retire with confidence, and they put on a class called Retirement Planning 101. And it shows you exactly what others often miss. How to avoid hidden tax traps in your 401k and IRA, how to make smarter decisions about Social Security, because we're really not taught this anywhere. Now, this is a one-night class. They're doing it in 90 minutes now. It's free, but you do have to register, and seats fill up fast because people want to know how to deal with their money in retirement. FTA, they say, listen, lose the job but keep the paycheck. That is what they can help you do. So go to one of these classes. Call 314-888-5101, 314-888-5101, and register. You won't regret it.
Missouri Brush Control is helping landowners reclaim their property with selective land clearing. Whether it's for a building site, pasture reclamation, hunting, or trail creation, Missouri Brush Control can transform your unusable acreage into accessible and productive property. Enjoy your land the way you've always dreamed of. 5-star rated on Google reviews. See impressive before and after projects today at MissouriBrushControl.com. Missouri Brush Control, making acreage great again. Tell them Bo Matthews sent you to MissouriBrushControl.com.
42% of Missouri fourth graders can barely read. 42%. It's the worst result in 20 years. If kids can't read by third grade, they fall behind in school and many never catch up. But other states have provided a roadmap for success. Missouri needs one universal reading test for all third graders and one clear statewide standard for what it means to pass that test. A struggling reader who still can't read after extra help and a second chance at the test should repeat third grade with some exemptions. We also need to end the outdated 3Qing method, which encourages guessing instead of reading, and require teachers to be trained in the science of reading. In Mississippi and Indiana, test scores jumped up dramatically after these reforms, and Missouri can do the same. Missouri children deserve to become confident, capable readers, and strong early literacy reforms can make it happen. The Show Me Minute has been brought to you by the Show Me Institute and Show Me Opportunity.
Kid Rock, a celebration 250 years in the making. Freedom 250 Tour, the road to Nashville. Friday, May 15th at Hollywood Casino Amphitheater. With Parker McCollum. On sale Friday, 10 a.m. at LiveNation.com. American Badass! The ultimate American party. Kid Rock.
Still leading. 97.1 FM Talk. St. Louis Conservative.
An American citizen get registered to vote, and you got to show a dadgum photo ID to vote. And that ID, 213 Democrats used their IDs to vote yesterday. Nobody hollered about racism there. It's just ridiculous, folks. This thing is just about corruption, and it's about control. And the Democrat Party ought to be ashamed.
All right, that was Congressman Tim Burchett. Let's get to our other congressman here.
Capitol Beat.
We got Congressman Bob Onder from the 3rd Congressional District on the line right now. How are you, sir?
Good morning, Mark. It's great to be back. Doing great.
I love Tim Burchett's point there. All the Democrats that voted against the Save America Act had to put their ID into the machine in order to vote on it, but they voted against other people having to do the same thing.
That's right, Mark. And the Democrats had to use a photo ID to get into the Democratic National Convention in 2024. So, yeah, the hypocrisy is absolutely incredible. Of course, we know that we need, in 2026, we need to use an ID to cash a check, to pick up a prescription, to get on a plane, and just about everything else we do in life. The right to vote is one of the most sacred rights that a citizen in a constitutional republic has. And if someone, say an illegal alien, votes illegally, he is literally stealing your vote. So we Republicans are protecting your vote with the Save America Act.
Who were you talking to yesterday, Mark, mentioning how the tricky Senate rules could make this tough to even bring to a vote?
Yeah, Chad Pergram, who covers the Hill there for Fox, told me that he thought the idea of a standing filibuster was too complicated for John Thune and the Republicans to ever pull off. Do you have any thoughts on that?
As Ronald Reagan once said, that the solutions to our nation's problems were not easy, but they were simple. Yeah. And a standing filibuster is very simple to understand. I understand it really well because I went through it many times in the Missouri Senate, sometimes opposing a Democrat filibuster, and sometimes being a Republican standing against some dumb things my own party was trying to do. But yes, literally, you've got to stand. And we, at least in Missouri, and I think in the U.S. Senate, you are allowed to, switch off after a period of time when you're absolutely exhausted. But yeah, I mean, I think that this could work. It would require the will of most all of the Republicans to make the Democrats do that. If you want to stand in the way of protecting our most sacred right in a democracy, which is the right to vote, then you Democrats are going to have to stand for a long time and talk endlessly about how you want illegal aliens to vote. I think it's a great idea, and it's long overdue.
Didn't Spartacus do that recently? Like Cory Booker, didn't he stand up and set some record for the amount of time he stalled some congressional action, some Senate action? So I know they still do stand up and do that. Are you in favor of Thune getting rid of the filibuster altogether?
I think the idea of returning to what a filibuster was really intended to be, which is, what I described in the Missouri Senate, having to stand. You care strongly enough that you want to delay a vote. You're going to have it's going to cost you. That is what a filibuster traditionally is. This silliness of, I'll just say, I'm filibustering, now it takes 60 votes to pass anything. That is really silly. I think that the filibuster should be preserved, but but have a real filibuster.
I watched a little bit of that House hearing you guys had with Pam Bondi, and I mean, the way that some of these House members dealt with her was really kind of disgusting. Were you in there for that hearing, Bob?
Oh, yes. I'm on the House Judiciary Committee. And, you've got to go back to what is the purpose of the Department of Justice. The Department of Justice ultimately is a law, or an arm of the executive branch of law enforcement to keep us safe. And by that measure, the Trump Justice Department, led by Pam Bondi, has been phenomenally successful. Crime in major cities that have cooperated with the federal government is down dramatically. Violent crime is in Washington, D.C. is down something like 31%. Nationwide, violent crime is down about 20%. Opioid deaths, the overdose deaths from fentanyl are down 21% since President Trump secured the border. It was disgusting that the Democrats just wanted to go on endlessly about Jeffrey Epstein or what have you. And for heaven's sakes, the department has released over 3 million pages of documents, tens of thousands of photos. The Democrats were nitpicking that, some names were some names were not redacted that should be, and some were or that shouldn't be. The DOJ fixed those problems. So I think. Look, the Justice Department, President Trump, the Republican Congress, we are keeping people safe. The Democrats want to talk about peripheral issues.
Were you able to get into that skiff? I know Thomas Massey went in there and he claimed that there's stuff that we can't talk about, but there's all these other names on there that they need to release. What's he getting at there? Are there names that we need to be seeing in the public?
Yeah, I think there are probably some names of perpetrators that we haven't seen yet. There's this one sheikh who was corresponding with Epstein in a pretty suspicious way. I think that's probably true. And I mean, when you release 3 million pages of records, you're not going to get it all perfect. But I think we'll continue to learn more about the Epstein files and who is all implicated. What was really ironic is that when for the last 6 months on the House Judiciary Committee, Democrats wanted to talk about nothing but Epstein. And then the House Oversight Committee subpoenaed the Clintons, and the Clintons resisted the subpoena. And for 2 weeks, we didn't hear a word about Epstein. And then yesterday we heard about Epstein, or 2 days ago we heard about Epstein again. So the hypocrisy of the Democrats is overwhelming. Look, we are looking out for the American people. The Democrats really, who are they looking out for? Really illegal aliens, even criminal illegal aliens.
And as we face a partial government shutdown again, right? Was it midnight tonight or something is the deadline? It sounds, yes. Mark was saying how, a handful of Democrats went on a trip?
Aren't many of them overseas in Germany right now, Bob?
Yeah, they did. They did. Again, we congressional Republicans, as always, are putting the American people first. But a lot of the Democrats wanted to go to this Munich security conference, and despite the shutdown, they are going anyway. Now, Speaker Johnson announced all congressional delegation trips for House members are shut down whenever the government is shut down. So there was one I was invited to. I could have actually gone to the Olympics as part of the congressional delegation trip. I chose not to because I had so many commitments back here in the district. But that was all shut down with the government shutdown, which I think is only appropriate.
Yeah. Two more things I want to get to with you that are local. One is a bill you've got going to make the Churchill Museum over in central Missouri a National Historic Landmark, correct?
Yes. I'm really excited about this. Obviously, not as important as the Save America Act, but
right.
As we all know, as Prime Minister of England, Winston Churchill stood alongside the United States as we defeated the Nazi Germany and preserved freedom in the Western world. And after the war, on March 5th, 1946, he gave the famous Iron Curtain speech on the campus of Westminster College in my district in Fulton, Missouri.
Yep.
So we are approaching the 80th anniversary of that monumental speech, probably one of the handful of most important speeches in the 20th century. And I think it's long past due that we recognize the Churchill Museum in Fulton as a National Historic Landmark. So, that passed out of the House Natural Resources Committee on Wednesday. Hope to see it on the floor soon, and then President Trump signing into law. I'd love to see him on the 80th anniversary come to Fulton, Missouri, and give a good speech.
That would be fantastic. It really would. Finally, you brought this to my attention. I have long been on. It's long been on my radar that there are people that want to bring ranked choice voting to Missouri. Horrible idea. But there's a move afoot again. It looks like called Common Sense STL. What do you know about it?
Oh my gosh, yes. I don't know a lot, Mark, but someone this morning forwarded me an invitation to a kickoff event Wednesday, February 18th, and then a 20-page pamphlet in the style of Thomas Paine's Common Sense. So
yes.
These modern day reincarnations of Thomas Paine want to bring jungle primaries, ranked choice voting, and other interesting election practices to Missouri. And it's all very complicated. It could take the next hour to explain all how ranked choice voting and jungle primaries work. All I will tell you this is that in a state that should be ruby red like Alaska, you elect Murkowski and Mary Patola, the Democrat congresswoman, rather than solid, in the case of Alaska, libertarian-leaning Republicans.
Right.
It's a nightmare. This has been a progressive cause for a long time, and what the progressives do is rent a Republican in Missouri to kind of pretend like this is some sort of bipartisan effort. It's an effort of the progressive left, no matter who they pay.
I would agree with that completely. Congressman Bob Onder, great to have you on, my friend. Thank you.
Great to be with you. Have a great weekend.
We'll talk again soon. Yep, and we'll be back in just a minute with Kim on a Whim. Stay tuned.
Traffic from the 97.1 FM Talk Traffic Center.
Well, some good news in traffic. They cleared the debris westbound 6440 at Big Bend, or at least They say that was done, but I am still showing some slow-moving traffic in that area, both east and westbound, with westbound traffic going back to Hampton. So if you are still traveling on westbound 6440, that's what's happening. Now, everywhere else, or at least for the most part, we look good. No problems on the Illinois side in general. We look good over there. We look okay on the bridges downtown if you're headed in. Northbound 55 looks good. And in North County, eastbound 270 at Lilac, there's some road work going on. But for the most part, we're fine up there as well. I'm Sue Thomas with traffic on 97.1 FM Talk, St. Louis Conservative.
Triton Exteriors. We take care of your home. It's that simple. Triton-STL.com. Home improvement projects can come with a lot of headaches. We save you time by offering packaged services that are easy to understand and based on your needs. We take care of the details so you don't have to. Visit us at Triton-STL.com. That's Triton-STL.com.
All right, time for me to tell you about what they do over at Air Comfort Service in case you're not familiar with it. Great time to get it done right now, too, because you know more cold weather's coming, but it doesn't matter if it's cold or hot. If your house isn't insulated properly, you are losing dollars right up through the ceiling. When most houses are built these days, they have insulation that's blown in from the ends of the house, right, to fill up that space. Well, that loose insulation gets compacted over time, right? Gravity pulls it down. And once it doesn't have that air in between it to help insulate, it loses its insulation factor. So you're losing heat through the ceiling in the winter. You're losing cold through the ceiling in the summer. It's not protecting you from that heat in your attic. Get that fixed right now. They're offering 15% off their attic insulation at Air Comfort Service. Heating, cooling, and insulation. It's right there in their name. Call them today. Tell them you heard Marc Cox bragging about it. They also do emergency service if you need help with your furnace. 314-513-0091. That's 513-0091 or aircomfortservice.com.
2026 is an election year, and 97.1 FM Talk will be your home for every twist and turn in the 2026 midterms. 97.1 FM Talk. Keep it here for radio coverage that's 25 years strong.
Hair Volume from New Nordic will make your hair look thick and healthy. Available as a tablet or delicious gummy. Hair Volume is available online at Amazon and NewNordicUSA.com or in the hair care aisle at your local CVS.
Zero Res wants to give your home the love and attention it deserves. Marc Cox here. Get 3 rooms of carpet cleaned starting at just $119 and take $75 off your air duct cleaning. Book online at ZeroResSTL.com and mention the 97.1 special.
This is attorney Todd Nissenholtz of Kaufman Townsend. Many of our clients are victims of negligent drivers. They put their trust in us and we help them recover physically and financially. Their words carry more weight than ours.
They guided me through every step of the legal process with clarity and expertise, ensuring that I always felt informed and supported.
Injured? Call Kaufman Townsley. It costs you nothing to call, but may cost you everything if you don't. Call 314-777-7777.
Is your home, business, or church looking tired, chalky, or in need of curb appeal? Go Rhino. Tired of painting year after year? Go Rhino. Our unique 3M ceramic technology is perfect for brick, stucco, aluminum, steel, color lock masonite, and more. It's backed by our 25-year transferable warranty to not chip, crack, or peel. Great if you're staying, and even better if you're selling. Our ceramic coating allows you to maintain all of your architectural features. The decision to do vinyl will leave your home looking like a plastic moldy box. With Rhino Shield, in 15 years, your home will still have that, wow, it looks like you just got it painted. We've done large condo complexes, parking garages, pole barns, and commercial strip malls. We coat sloped and flat roofs to extend their lives too. Evaluations are free. 877-25-RHINO or 877-25rhino.com. See what we did there? Genius. Tell them, ladies.
No paint, don't Rhino. Go Rhino Shield. Never paint your house again. Rhino Shield.
Marc Cox is St. Louis conservative. Kim on a Whim.
Kim on a Whim is proudly brought to you by Missouri Brush Control. Enjoy your land the way you've always dreamed of. Learn more at MissouriBrushControl.com.
I think hell may have frozen over, Mark.
Really?
I know it's sunny out.
Yeah, I'm
but
looking.
Well, wait until you hear this. CNN's Caitlin Collins was kind of singing the praises of Caroline Leavitt. Caroline Leavitt supposedly defended Caitlin's free press rights. Listen to this. This was Caitlin Collins talking about what happened while she was on some podcast.
And I asked a shouted question to President Trump, who had seen me when the U.S. press came in. He didn't answer, which is, that's how it works. You shout questions.
This is with the Saudis, by the way.
Their answer, they don't. It's their prerogative. And then the world leaders left the room. The Saudi royal guard kind of freaked out because I dared to ask a question, and they're not used to that there because they don't have a free press. And so they came up and they said, okay, well, you can't come into the next event, which was like 2 minutes later. And I was like, that's not how this works. I go into the U.S. press, and they were like, well, you're not coming in. And I could see them like whispering and pointing about me. And some of the younger White House staff that were with the press weren't really sure what to do. And they went to Caroline. And to her credit, she said, no, Caitlin's coming in with the rest of the U.S. press. And we went in. And so
there you go. So props to Caroline Leavitt, even though every CNN headline is attacking Donald Trump, probably attacking Caroline Leavitt, many of which are probably Caitlin Collins' stories.
Well, yeah.
She defended her.
We know the president's no fan of Caitlin Collins.
Well, he has had some choice words for her.
Yeah.
Very, as of it was this week, he said she was the worst reporter ever and that CNN should be ashamed of her. But the media has a lot of complaints, and they talk about Donald Trump this or Donald Trump that, but we live in a country where not only do we have access to our elected leaders and we can shout questions at them, but we can also write whatever the heck we want, more or less. Obviously, you run the risk of libel, but you can say horrible things in a headline and not be sued. That's the kind of country we have versus the Saudi royal guard, she says, isn't used to that because they don't have free press. And her just shouting a question at President Trump, they were like, no, you can't even come in anymore. You're done.
Well, yeah. Knowing how the president feels about Caitlin Clark, it would have been very easy for...
You mean Caitlin Collins?
Caitlin Collins.
I don't know how he feels about Caitlin Clark. He probably likes her three-pointers. Yeah.
Knowing how he feels about Caitlin Collins, if the president was... it would have been very easy for Caroline Leavitt with a wink and a nod to kind of let Caitlin Collins be left out of that thing and then laugh about it later with the president. But clearly, she wasn't going to let that happen. She was in America. They stick together. The Democrats may go over there and badmouth us, but she wasn't about to do that to a member of the media. Good for her.
Yeah.
It's good that she's willing to tell the story. She told that on a podcast. Am I correct?
Correct.
Yeah.
Amy on Facebook was saying KJP would have said nope. That's a good question. What would Karine Jean-Pierre have said? I don't know. Because the Trump administration took a lot of heat in the very beginning of the second term of, you're shutting out a lot of journalists and you're giving these press passes to all these weird independent outlets. You remember that?
I do.
So, yeah. The guy goes on for like 2 hours and then fields like 2 hours of questions. And yes, he might say some ridiculous things back to reporters, but he is by far, I don't know how you could argue otherwise, that he is the most transparent president I can think of in recent history. At least the most accessible.
He's certainly the most accessible.
Never around. He was always napping or something.
Whether you like his answers or not, he's the most accessible president. By far.
Oh my gosh.
By a factor of 20, I'll bet.
If he did more than one press conference a month, he's already more accessible than Joe Biden was.
Absolutely. Yeah, that's a good point. I'm glad you played that. It seems like I heard that maybe on the way in this one. I'm trying to remember where I heard that bite. But, yeah, people need to know that. And I'm glad Caitlin Collins admitted to it. Not Caitlin Clark, Caitlin Collins. Coming up, we're going to get to another Congresswoman. Congresswoman Ann Wagner is going to join us at the top of the hour. And we've got Jane Puszkar as well, a candidate for the Francis Howell School Board, talking about the importance of those upcoming April elections. Stay tuned.
License number GL250000615.
Hey, it's good to see you.
Two sounds that can wreck your sleep. A drip and a toilet that won't stop running.
Drip, drip, all night.
Good news. We're doing plumbing now. Same folks, same care, we do it right.
Leaky faucet, running toilet.
Or a stubborn clog, call Grasser.
Electric and plumbing, the Grasser way.
Green is always Grasser at GrasserHomeservices.com.
We all have different ideas of the perfect retirement, but they all depend on the same thing, not running out of money. And preparing for retirement can sometimes be overwhelming, but it doesn't have to be. Find out how to build your retirement on your terms.
What are your wishes, hopes, and dreams? What's retirement look like for you? Because everybody, that picture is different.
Join host Steve All for the All Financial Hour, Saturday mornings at 6 or Saturday afternoon at 4, here on 97.1 FM Talk.
Join us on February 15th at Powell Hall as the St. Louis Symphony Orchestra and St. Louis City SC brings us Eternal, a tribute to Tina Turner, presented by Purina, with special guests Brittany Howard of Alabama Shakes and Kennedy Holmes. Experience the ultimate journey through Tina's immortal catalog. Tickets are limited. Get yours now at slso.org.
If you're considering an annuity as part of your retirement plan, we need to talk. Hi, I'm Bob Stockdale, Senior Vice President Investments with the ClearPath Wealth Management Group at Stifel and host of On the Money, Saturday mornings at 11 on 97.1 FM Talk. Annuities can be a useful tool for some retirement investors, but not all annuities are created equal. Every week, we meet clients who own complex annuities that don't suit their needs and, in some cases, actively undermine their retirement plan. Before you purchase an annuity, get a second opinion from the ClearPath Wealth Management Group at Stifel. Requesting a consultation is free of charge. To request a free consultation, contact us at clearpathinvesting.com. That's clearpathinvesting.com, or call us at 636-695-2650. That's clearpathinvesting.com or 636-695-2650. Stifel Nicholas and Company Incorporated, member NYSE and SIPC.
Join Mark Patrick Hypnosis. Lose the weight or stop smoking. Guaranteed only $59.99. Saturday, March 7th at the Residence Inn by Marriott St. Louis Westport in St. Louis. Weight loss hypnosis starts at 11 a.m. Registration at 10:30 a.m. Stop smoking starts at 2 p.m. Registration 1:30 p.m.
Hey guys, are you dealing with low energy weight gain or issues in the bedroom? Game Day Men's Health is the premier men's health clinic in the St. Louis area with locations in Chesterfield and O'Fallon, Missouri. They specialize in low testosterone and sexual health, and they also help men and women with medical weight loss, vitamins, and peptides. They offer free consultations and testosterone tests with results in about 20 minutes. Get in, get answers, get back to the top of your game. Visit GameDayMen'sHealth.com. Again, that's GameDayMen'sHealth.com.
KFTK FM Florissant from the Kaufman Townsley St. Louis's Injury Lawyers Studio. Call 314-777-7777.
That's 314-777-7777.
A little less inflation. I'm Dave Anthony, Fox News. The annual rate of consumer price increase declined from December. Fox's Jenny Casola has the better than expected numbers.
Price increases moderated in January. The consumer price index rose just 0.2% for the month and 2.4% on an annual basis.
That is 0.3 lower than December's inflation rate. Right before the numbers came out, White House Press Secretary Caroline Leavitt told Fox.
We also see, as inflation has come down, wages have increased under this president. So Americans have more purchasing power.
Leavitt also blames Democrats for funding running out at midnight for much of Homeland Security.
The brave men and women of our United States Coast Guard, of FEMA, who are still helping Americans turn their lights on from the recent winter storm, and the men and women of TSA that work diligently to keep our airports moving and keep flights efficiently going, are going to go without a paycheck.
Senate Democratic leader Chuck Schumer demands immigration enforcement reform be included in any new Homeland Security funding.
Republicans chose to put a bill on the floor that ignored the abuses, ignored the outrage, ignored what the American people want overwhelmingly.
ICE already has funding to continue operations from the Big Beautiful Bill. The reward for information leading to an arrest in Nancy Guthrie's kidnapping is up to $100,000. A glove was found inside the 84-year-old's home, and on day 13 of the search, Fox's Matt Finn reports from Tucson, Arizona.
The Pima County Sheriff is asking anyone with a camera in the area of East Skyline Drive and North Campbell Avenue, it's about a 2-mile radius here, to check their video from January 1st through February 1st and submit the video to the Pima County Sheriff's online link. The sheriff is looking for people, cars, or, of course, anything suspicious.
A new crew will arrive at the International Space Station tomorrow.
3, 2.
SpaceX launched them about 4 hours ago to replace the last crew brought home early when one astronaut needed medical treatment. America's listening to Fox News.
Welcome back to Winter Hack Radio, the place for clever hacks to survive the season. Icy driveway? Well, try spreading sand or birdseed to help with traction. Snowy puppy paws? Well, grab a whisk, brush it off, done. Catch COVID-19? Well, just get...
Actually, there's no hack for COVID-19. But if you test positive, prescription medications for COVID exist. Ask your doctor if they're right for you. Visit PfizerForAll.com to learn more. Sponsored by Pfizer.
Did you know GoodRx can help you save on medication, manage prescriptions, and get trusted health information? If you're one of the millions living with a heart condition, check GoodRx for an easier, more affordable way to manage your health. GoodRx offers common heart medications for under $30. Just search for your prescription, find the best price, then show your pharmacist the GoodRx coupon. And it works whether you have insurance or not. To start saving and better manage your heart health, download the free app or visit GoodRx.com today. GoodRx is not insurance but can be used instead of insurance, including Medicare and other federal and state-funded programs.
Good morning. It is a pretty start to our Friday, but a little bit chilly. Still hovering around freezing now at 8:03. I'm Kim St. for 97.1 FM Talk, and here's a look at what's making headlines locally. The Missouri House passed a bill Thursday that would permanently ban doctors from prescribing puberty blockers and cross-sex hormones to minors, thank goodness. 40 Democrats, not surprisingly, voted against it. Some of them argue a parent and child should have a right to make their own health choices. That bill now heads to the Senate for a vote. The historic Jewel Box in Forest Park may need to temporarily pause hosting events until some necessary repairs are made. City officials say the Jewel Box needs about $5 million to repair falling glass and rusting metal frames. The Jewel Box opened more than 100 years ago. Its last major renovation, that was back in 2002. Senator Josh Hawley teaming up with Senator Elizabeth Warren to go after Big Pharma. Their proposal would ban a practice that involves a single company controlling multiple stages of the healthcare industry. So, for example, controlling insurance and pharmacies. Hawley says all that consolidation has driven up healthcare costs and decreased quality of care. If their bill passes, it would require companies to comply with these new regulations within 1 year. In sports, I don't want to jinx it, but SLU hoping to continue its winning streak tonight when the Billikens take on Loyola. Tip-off for that game 7:30. Mizzou taking on Texas tomorrow. Illinois faces Indiana on Sunday. And if you've wondered why you've not been hearing much about the Blues, well, it's because they're on a break until the 26th because of the Winter Olympics. All right, hovering around freezing now. Coming up on 8:05, I'm Kim St. for 97.1 FM Talk, St. Louis Conservative.
Traffic from the 97.1 FM Talk Traffic Center.
MoDOT reporting a stall westbound 70, really close to northbound 170 on the left shoulder. We still have a slowdown westbound 6440 from Hampton. There was an accident reported near Clayton Skinker, and then a slow go through Big Bend before opening up. Eastbound traffic, moderate volume approaching 170 through Big Bend. Southbound 170, a little slow at 64. 70 eastbound looks great. 44 is in good shape. Northbound 270, slowing now on either side of 6440. And we look good on the bridges downtown. Eastbound 64, a little slow at 159 on the Illinois side. I'm Sue Thomas with traffic on 97.1 FM Talk, St. Louis Conservative.
It's time for a $98 furnace tune-up. From now on, if you spring a leak, need a water heater, or have hard water,
thanks for calling Jerry Kelly Heating, Air, Plumbing, and Electrical.
Jerry Kelly will fix the leak, install the thing, and make that hard water easy. From the company who's got your whole home covered.
JerryKelly.com. Air Comfort Service, heating, cooling, and insulation. Weather.
Pretty nice Friday across the St. Louis area. A little chilly out the door this morning, but a nice warm up. Plenty of sunshine. 59-64 the high. Tonight, clouds take control. 40 degrees Saturday. Rain spreads in during the afternoon. Thinking mid to late day. 52 degrees. It is wet Saturday night. Periods of rain and chilly. 44. Sunday, basically a sunny day and 59 degrees. This is 97.1 FM Talk. Chief Meteorologist Dave Murray.
All right, 8:06 right now, about 32 degrees. You can take the Marc Cox Morning Show with you anywhere you go. Super simple. Listen anytime. Just download our free Odyssey app.
The Marc Cox Morning Show is brought to you by Thomas Helbig and Bob Kershaw with the Retirement Advisory Group, retirementkey.com.
This is the Marc Cox Morning Show.
All right, welcome back on your Friday morning. A little bit of breaking news right now, and I want to play this for you because it's shocking for a couple of reasons. Number one, because we told you so. Number two, because CNN had to break the news just a few minutes ago. Listen to this.
Let's talk more about just that. There's new data coming in showing that consumer prices eased to start the year. Matt Egan joining us now with a deeper look at what the numbers are showing. What are you learning?
Well, Kate, look, this is some encouraging news on the cost of living, right? Inflation took a big step in the right direction to start the year off. So consumer prices up by 2.4% year over year. That is an improvement from 2.7% in December. That beat expectations, which were for 2.5%. In fact, this is a new 8-month low for annual inflation.
How about that? An 8-month low, just like the Commerce Secretary and Treasury Secretary and others have been projecting that inflation would continue to fall. Just the opposite of what the mainstream media has been telling you about where prices are going in this country. Great news. That just happened in the last 15 or 20 minutes, so I wanted to bring that to you. Right now, I want to get to our guest. She's Congresswoman Ann Wagner, of course, from Missouri's 2nd Congressional District. Ann, good morning to you, and that is some good news on inflation, huh?
Hey, great news on inflation, and we had fabulous jobs numbers yesterday. So, I'm telling you what, we're making some real strides here, both unemployment being down, wages are up. We've got the Dow that's kind of breaking records, and that's good if you're looking to save for retirement or a kid's education, a home. Just the work we've done, Mark, in conjunction with President Trump over the last year, especially during this tax season, this first quarter, the next quarter, I think it's really coming to fruition. So I'm excited for the American people. We've worked hard to get this done.
Yeah, it's a great point. And, here's the thing. Kim and I have talked about this a lot as well. The affordability thing is what the Democrats are hoping to run on these midterms. And I've been saying all along, just be patient because the stuff is going to start taking effect that the president's done. We're starting to see that. We're going to get a new Fed chair. If we can get interest rates down a little bit, I think the housing market explodes. Now it's up to Republicans to sell that message to the voters, right?
That's right. And it's key. We need for Republicans to do so. We need for the president and the administration and our cabinet secretaries to get out. This is all about everything that we have done together to fight and deliver more money in your pockets and a more prosperous and a more secure country. Those are the things that we've been working on the last year with President Trump, the things that I think he'll be talking about in the State of the Union, the things that we need to now bring home to the American people so they can actually feel it in their pocketbooks and where it counts, around the kitchen table, all those issues.
Democrats don't seem to be willing to budget all on their demands when it comes to DHS. With these ICE agents, they don't want them wearing masks and having IDs and all these different things. So it sounds like at this point, because of that, a partial government shutdown is inevitable.
It's so frustrating, Kim, okay? Once again, House Republicans, we did our job, and I want for your listeners to understand that. We passed every single one of the bills, all 12 of them necessary to fund this government. In fact, we did so on January 22nd. That, Kim, was some 3 weeks ago before the deadline of today. But once again, Chuck Schumer and Senate Democrats are blocking it. And we've been down this road before on the earlier shutdown that where they furloughed hundreds of thousands of government workers. Democrats withheld paychecks for our troops. It was some 43 days. We had everything finished at that point also. And it cost our economy, speaking, as Mark was, of our economy, it costs billions of dollars when you have a government shutdown like this. So here we are, fast forward, we've done our work, and now they want to shut things down again, and they want to do it all in the name of defunding ICE. It's absolutely reprehensible.
Well, Ann, I know you've watched Tom Homan the other day, probably in Minneapolis, and he's talking about removing thousands of people with violent criminal records from the community in Minneapolis, saving over 3,500 children who had been unaccounted for, unaccompanied minors allowed into the country by Joe Biden. And the media plays it as if somehow the Trump administration has given in to the demands of Minneapolis and they're now pulling out, when all they did was go up there and make that a safer place to live.
They did. And they had over 4,000 criminal arrests on top of so many other things they did to save young children, women, others that were being preyed upon by these illegal aliens who have come across our border, again, illegally. And now, we'll be pivoting to another state, another location. We are not going to stop this. But what I keep saying is I am going to stand and back the blue. I support our law enforcement at the local, state, and federal levels. We must everyone in this country must stop disrespecting our law enforcement officers. We must. It is key. The removal of criminal, illegal aliens from our country is key, and we must get that done. And so we'll see what Chuck Schumer and the Democrats want to do. If they want to side with illegal criminal aliens over law enforcement and removing this aspect that has been absolutely a bane of our existence since Biden left office. I mean, you've seen the numbers. We've all seen the numbers of the over 10 million illegals that came in across the border when Joe Biden was here. You know what it is right now, Mark and Kim? In the last 8 months, there have been 0 illegals crossing over the United States border. This president has secured the border, period, full stop. And now the Democrats want to roll that back, let the criminal illegals in, and disrespect, defund our law enforcement, and diminish our men and women in blue. And I will not stand for it.
No, and you and I have known each other for, my goodness, longer than we both want to admit, probably 30 years since I got to Channel 4 back in the early 90s. And I know how involved you've been in the fight for life. I know the Lincoln Reagan Day event is coming up in Springfield. I assume you're attending that?
Yeah. Well, we hope to get down there. But yes, we're very excited. You know that the state legislature just passed my Born Alive bill in the Missouri House and Senate. I'm so happy.
Yeah.
So the one that I did at the federal level. So,
I saw that.
Yes,
I'm just wondering what your position is and what your opinion is on what it's going to take to get Amendment 3 passed in November, because it's so important that we roll back some of what this thing has done in our Constitution, allowing abortion on demand up until birth.
Well, I'm a big supporter of the effort, and joined locked arms with Claudia Kehoe, our First Lady, and our governor. Spoke at a recent event that Mary Elizabeth Coleman did at her home to kind of kick things out. We're trying to raise the resources and the money. We've got to get a good ballot language on there that's fair and correct and accurate, and give our voters in Missouri another chance to do what's right to save our precious unborn. So I'm fully on board that effort in multiple ways. Both my husband and myself are, and I'm excited about that. I'm hoping that we're going to get back to Washington, D.C. I flew in last night. I think you had Congressman Onder on a little bit earlier. But I've got planes back to D.C. today, tomorrow, the next day. I mean, we are ready to act, but the Democrats and Schumer must get this done. They also, in the Senate, must take up our SAVE Act. I don't know whether you touched on it or not, but we once again, this will be our third passing in the House, U.S. Congress of the SAVE Act, but this time we put the key emphasis on voter ID. States must ensure that an individual voter has a photo ID when they vote at the polls, and that they are United States citizens.
Yep.
And so we've got some of those common sense reforms here in Missouri and about 35 other states, but we have got to get that done. The Senate must pass it. We sent them a bill, and you should know that we tried to tee things up for the Senate. We sent them a bill that was kind of an amended Senate bill, so it's what's called an S bill, and a little technical here, but this is going to expedite consideration in the Senate of the SAVE Act. And I really hope that they're going to get that done. It was exciting work that we got done, and we got at least one Democrat in the House on board. The way it polls, let me tell you what, Republicans, Democrats, African Americans, Latinos, everyone is in favor of this common sense piece of legislation that is also vital to the integrity of our elections.
I would agree.
It really is.
I would agree with that completely. Thanks for the good work on that. I just hope the Senate votes on it at some point. And thank you, by the way, because, of course, we're looking forward to coming up for the State of the Union in a week and a half. And thanks to you, I'll be able to sit in the gallery and watch that. That is a bucket list item for me. Thank you for that.
Well, I'm thrilled to do it. Mark, we are going to be surrounded by always at the State of the Unions and around the halls in the Capitol by tons of liberal media. They're bashing the president, okay? And we need you. We need your conservative voice to be a truth teller. So I am happy to have you there to be that conservative voice and to be that truth teller and for you to see it firsthand. It is going to be long, I will tell you that.
Yes, it's for sure.
But it's really, really something, and I'm so proud. I hope the president is going to recap the work that we've done on the big, beautiful bill, on securing the border, on energy independence and dominance, all the things that we're doing to make life more affordable for everyday Americans and putting more money in their pocket. We're seeing it is a tide turn, and I hope that he's going to remind everyone of that as we move throughout this tax season.
Yep. Congresswoman Ann Wagner, thank you very much. We will see you in a little over a week. Thank you.
You bet. Take care.
All right.
Safe travels.
Yeah,
Bye now.
We'll talk soon. Yep. Good to get her on here. Got to get to a quick break here. We went a little long there. We'll be right back with our Queen of Hearts drawing. Stay tuned.
Traffic from the 97.1 FM Talk Traffic Center.
Little bit of volume eastbound 6440 approaching 170 through Big Bend. We had an accident and some debris westbound, so still a slow go that goes back near Hampton. But eastbound 70, eastbound 64, for the most part in good shape. 44 looks great, 55 does as well. We are quiet on the Illinois side and the bridges downtown. And there's a little bit of a slowdown every now and then, eastbound 270 near Lilac or headed for the Chain of Rocks Bridge, but it's not much. I'm Sue Thomas with traffic on 97.1 FM Talk, St. Louis Conservative.
It is Friday. It is a great day, by the way, to get yourself out to Lit Cigar Lounge in Chesterfield this evening. They are going to have live music, as they always do. Usually they mix it up, different artists every week. You can go to their social media and find out who they got going this week. LitSTL.com. Great place. Just luxurious leather couches where you can relax. They've got premium handmade cocktails, craft cocktails, whiskey, wine, beer, anything you'd want from their bar. It's fantastic. And, of course, the cigars. It is Lit Cigar Lounge, and they are known for the premium hand-rolled cigars, some of the finest cigar makers in the world. Sometimes they have people in there rolling them by hand in front of you. And they have special events like that all the time, and whiskey tastings. You can check their social media to find out more about that. But you're going to love it. It's a great place for a date night, for business meetings, just hanging out with friends. I'm down there all the time. Hope I run into you. Say hello to Andrew and Brian and Dana and the great family that owns and operates Lit Cigar Lounge in the district. Right, just down the street from Napoli Brothers. In fact, you can order food, and Napoli will deliver it to you right there at Lit. I'll see you at Lit Cigar Lounge. Go to litstl.com.
At Gray Bar, we know your time is money. That's why our services go beyond parts and products. With kitting, pre-assembly, wire carts, and Gray Bar smart reels that keep you moving. We stage materials and manage logistics so you can spend less time sorting and more time installing. And with locations nationwide, we deliver when and where you need it, working to make your job easier every step of the way. Yep, Gray Bar does that.
Surprise! Surprise! You know, surprise parties, they can be fun, right? Well, financial surprises, not so much, especially when you're retired, like finding out you owe more in taxes than you thought you would, or having to go back to work to make ends meet. Maybe you think you'll be okay, but why not double check just to be sure? Call Marvin Mitchell at Compass Retirement Solutions and schedule a retirement double check. Marvin and his team have been helping families plan for retirement for more than 15 years. Call 314-373-1598 to schedule your retirement double check with Marvin Mitchell at Compass Retirement Solutions. That's 314-373-1598. Don't let a financial surprise derail your retirement dreams. Give Marvin and the team a call, 314-373-1598. Firm offers insurance services, investments, and services offered through Compass Retirement Group, a registered investment advisory in Missouri and in Illinois.
You've been listening to the very popular Wellness One for many years, Saturdays and Sundays on 97.1 FM Talk. We're happy to share that we've expanded the show to 4 times a week. Yes, 4 times every weekend. Saturday at 10 a.m., Saturday at 8 p.m., Sunday at 9 a.m., and Sunday at 2 p.m. It's the same great show designed to cut through the nonsense and provide you a common sense, science-based strategy for a healthy life. So join TJ and Aaron for Wellness One. Now 4 times a week on 97.1 FM Talk.
Marc Cox is St. Louis conservative. Guns N' Hoses Queen of Hearts, benefiting the St. Louis Backstoppers.
All right, STLGunsandHoses.com. That's where you can get your tickets, your cards, I should say, for the Queen of Hearts drawing. They do it every Friday. It's a 50-50 raffle. So if you draw the Queen of Hearts, you win half of the pot, which is at almost $11,600 right now. Think of it as one of those big 50-50 raffles you have at the ballpark all the time, except this benefits Guns N' Hoses and therefore Backstoppers. So go to STLGunsandHoses.com. Get your card today. They're $5 a piece. You buy 5, you get 1 free. And today's winner, they drew the King of Clubs in slot number 50. And because it's a face card, that guy is going to win $50. That's a $50 winner today on a $5 bet. Go buy your cards today and help my friends at St. Louis Guns and Hoses. So excited that we get to be part of that. Well, I was anxious to see this, Kim, because of the news we kind of broke there as we got Ann Wagner on about inflation. Because let me read you the headlines that have been put out today. The Dow futures slip ahead of key inflation data. Dow falls because they're expecting inflation data to be higher than expected. These are the nattering nabobs of negativity that are holding this economy back. Do you understand that? I mean, the Dow futures were down because they had been scared into believing inflation would be higher than it was. And indeed, it was the lowest it's been in 8 months. Now, Donald Trump's only been in office 12 months. And they've been telling you, we're working on this, we're fixing it. Oh, no. Tariffs are going to they're going to increase inflation, and this is going to be passed on to consumers, and this is bad. None of it's happening. Fuel prices are coming down. Egg prices are coming down. I got Scoot on here trying to argue with me, now do food and all these other things. Well, you're wrong about that. All you got to do is look at the numbers. It's all coming down. Drug prices coming down. We need a health care fix. It's certainly not Obamacare. It needs to be fixed. Wait till people get their taxes done and start getting bigger refunds than they got last year. They're going to have more money in their pockets. All of this is driving this economy, and the media, the mainstream media, can't stand it. They just can't. Here's how they kind of downplayed it. NBC News, since the numbers came out, the first headlines I read you were before the numbers were announced an hour ago. Now's the headline on NBC News. Inflation cooled slightly in January, offering some relief for consumers. Who the hell, like, unless you had a built-in bias, which we know they do, why would the lead sentence not be inflation hits its lowest number in 8 months? That's the lead. They've buried the lead. Even on CNN, when I played that for you, he didn't say till his very last sentence, that's the lowest inflation number in 8 months.
That's the obvious headline.
It's the headline. They bury the lead because they don't want good news. They want to feed into the lies, the talking points of the left, that we have an affordability crisis. Well, we do have higher prices that were driven up by the policies of the previous administration. And a year into Donald Trump's presidency, so many of those factors have been either removed or reduced. And slowly, you're starting to see this come back around. We just have to pray it's enough, and we have to show it to people between now and November. And it's going to steal this argument from the left trying to push affordability. They're going to see this as the summer wears on. Take my word for it. Coming up, we got April elections just around the corner. It's already February 13th. Think about that. For long, we'll be voting on school board elections. We're going to talk about that with Jane Puszkar coming up. Stay tuned.
I'm John Morgan of Morgan & Morgan, America's largest injury law firm. Over 35 years, I've seen it all. Car crashes, work injuries, defective products, medical mistakes, lives flipped upside down in an instant. But I've also seen something else, the power of fighting back, the power of winning. Over $30 billion recovered and counting. Size matters, reputation matters, results matter. There's only one Morgan & Morgan.
The choice of a lawyer is an important decision and should not be based solely upon advertisements. Past results afford no guarantee of future results. Every case is different and must be judged on its own merits.
When it comes to planning your retirement, there's a lot to think about. Portfolio management, tax planning, and retirement income just to get started. Steve All and his team at the All Financial Group focus on those things and more. Their goal is to help you achieve your goals. Call 636-230-8824 or online, yourmoneymattersstl.com.
Investment advisory products and services made available through Impact Partnership Wealth, LLC, IPW, a registered investment advisor. Insurance and annuities offered through Steve All, NPN number 153-07419.
Hey, Dr. Michael White is my dentist, and you need to make him your dentist as well. You're going to love the practice, his approach to dentistry, which is just so unique, I think, at least in my experience. I've been to a lot of dentists in my life, and Dr. White's office is different because I grew up with some horrible dental nightmares and scared to go to the dentist when I was young and all that stuff. If you have any of that, like the sound of a drill makes your spine tingle a little bit, you need to go talk to Dr. White. He's very tuned into that. He's going to make whatever is being done as pain-free as possible. He'll do the sedation dentistry if that's what you need. He's the same way on cost as well, and he's worked hard to keep his prices affordable because he doesn't want that to be another reason you're not getting good dental care. Call him at 314-270-8552. That's his phone number. Tell him you want an appointment, or go online to sunsethills.dentist.
I'm Nicole Murray with Your Money Now. Rivian has beaten Wall Street's fourth quarter expectations and said it's targeting a significant increase in vehicle deliveries this year. Its guidance includes increasing vehicle deliveries to between 62 and 67,000 units, which would be up by up to 59% compared with last year. The Financial Times reports that President Trump is planning to scale back some tariffs on steel and aluminum goods. Officials in the Commerce Department believe the tariffs are hurting consumers by raising prices for goods, including pie tins and food and drink cans. Airbnb reported fourth quarter results after the bell that beat analyst estimates for revenue. Revenue increased 12% to nearly $2.8 billion, but the company missed analyst expectations for earnings. For the first quarter, Airbnb said it expects to report revenue of roughly $2.68 billion. Futures are currently mixed. Thursday, the Dow Industrials fell 669. The Nasdaq down 469. The S&P 500 down 108. That's Your Money Now.
Build your team, build it sooner. Meet your match on ZipRecruiter.
I know that hiring can be challenging. You need someone to match your role perfectly. Well, now you can meet them fast on ZipRecruiter.
Need to hire right away. Start your search for strong candidates. The right fit awaits. All your roles, fill them sooner. Meet your match on ZipRecruiter.
Just head to ZipRecruiter.com/free right now to try it for free, and you're on your way to meeting your match. 4 out of 5 employers who post on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. So try it now. Go to ZipRecruiter.com/free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free.
Meet your match on ZipRecruiter. Try it free.
Traffic from the 97.1 FM Talk Traffic Center.
Looking good on the roads right now. We've got a little bit of volume, 6440 in both directions at Big Bend, but it's not much. It's just kind of leftover from an earlier accident. Now, there's a stall reported southbound 270 at Big Bend. Watch for that on the right side. It's really not causing a delay. Northbound 55 in good shape. We're quiet through North County and on the Illinois side in general. We also look good on the bridges downtown if you happen to be headed in from Illinois. We've looked great this morning. I'm Sue Thomas with traffic on 97.1 FM Talk, St. Louis Conservative. Here's what we know, most of us, about retirement. Okay, you have to save. And that is great. And we do that, but then you get closer to retirement and realize, wait a minute, now what? Do I know how to navigate retirement with this money? Can I turn it into lasting income? Well, that's where financial and tax architects come in, because they can help. And they have a retirement planning 101 class that shows you exactly how to make smarter decisions about Social Security, talks about the tax traps in 401k and IRAs. It's just a one-night class, and it's free, but seats fill up quickly. And if you want to go, I just think it's a good idea to listen to how things work in retirement. Then you can make a rational decision about who you want to help you come up with a retirement plan, and I'm guessing you will pick financial and tax architects. Just go to a class, fta-ria.com. That's where you go to register, fta-ria.com. Reserve a seat, go, and start feeling better about retirement.
What if every time you spent money, you saved money too? With Achieve It Checking from Together Credit Union, you can do just that. Every debit card purchase is rounded up to the nearest dollar, and the spare change goes right into your savings. And here's the best part. Together Credit Union boosts your progress by matching qualifying savings up to $8 a month. It's a free checking account that helps you achieve more automatically. Learn more, or better yet, enroll today at togethercu.org. Together Credit Union. Federally insured by NCUA.
Marc Cox here. Join me, Annie Fry, and Mark Reardon and learn how to create a worry-free retirement with the Retirement Advisory Group. It's coming up on Tuesday, February 17th at the DoubleTree Hotel in Chesterfield at 6:30 p.m. Here are Bob and Tammy Kershaw with more.
Are you nearing retirement or already retired and wondering how to turn your 401k and IRA into a worry-free retirement? Would you like to learn the strategies that give you market growth but protects you from market losses at the same time?
Would you like to get a free personalized retirement income plan? And did you also know if you're 59 and a half or older, you can roll over your company retirement plan tax-free to create a worry-free retirement. If you're 59 and a half or older, you cannot afford to miss this event.
Have a worry-free retirement and join the official financial advisors of my show, Bob and Tammy Kershaw, at the DoubleTree Hotel in Chesterfield, Tuesday, February 17th at 6:30 p.m. Go to retirementkey.com. That's retirementkey.com.
License number GL250000615.
Hey, it's good to see you.
Home power used to be simple. Now the car plugs in, the scooter plugs in, the space heater plugs in, and your electric panel starts popping.
That sounds bad, but I like popcorn.
Popcorn is great, sparks are not. Call Grasser. We'll upgrade your panel so you can run it all.
Electric and plumbing, the Grasser way.
Green is always Grasser at GrasserHomeservices.com.
From the gateway to the airwaves. 97.1 FM Talk, St. Louis Conservative.
Well, by now I am just certain of it. You've seen the billboards that are up all over the place right now. And, of course, if you're paying close attention, you know that those are for the Francis House School District because, once again, they've done a great job of getting the word out with Jane Puszkar and David Jaworski and Lauren Greenwood. And we've got Jane on the phone this morning to talk a little bit more about the upcoming school board elections. Jane, how are you?
I'm fine, Mark. How are you?
I'm doing fine. Thank you. I think maybe next week sometime we're going to get David Jaworski on to talk a little bit more about the race since he's decided to step into it this year as well. You know, I don't know what else needs to happen to people. I'd love to see these elections moved to a different time of year, but in the meantime, we have got to get people motivated to get off the couch and get to the polls. If I see another 12% turnout, I'm going to scream.
I couldn't agree more. I have 3 words: vote, vote, vote.
Yeah.
You know, of approximately the 89,500 eligible voters in Francis Howell, it shows on the website at the Election Authority only 13% participated in school boards elections in 2025.
Wow.
That's just unacceptable. In 2023, the last time I ran, I won by 1,723 votes. In 24, the winner won by 1,604, which is a good sign because that went the other side. But in 25, they won by 1,989 votes. Now, that's not a lot for a county that has like 100 or 300,000 people in it. You know, we really have to hold these 3 seats this year, and then next year win 2 more, and then we're back in the majority. And I'm telling you, when that happens, there's going to be some really, really, really good things going on. But I also want to talk about the fact that we have about 18,000 students in this district. And it's really important. The fiscal responsibility and oversight of those students and the district is so important. The problem is it takes about $13,500 to educate a student. Our projected revenues for this year are $292 million. So if you have somebody that thinks it's a good idea to throw a Chromebook in front of every kid's face for all day long, then you should probably vote for the other side. But I don't believe in that, and I think that we do our kids a disservice. We've done a disservice to this district by $78 million overrun on Francis Howell North. Mm-hmm. And then I hate to say they voted in a superintendent that never worked a day in the life and made $230,000 before it. But I must say, I was the only one on the board that voted against him.
Yeah, that ended up being kind of a mess. I mean, what's really sad too, Jane, is you look at the breakdown of the different people voting, and a lot of Christians are not voting like they should, and that's what I can't wrap my brain around, because you talk about the margin of, you know, the number of votes you're able to win by. I mean, that's smaller than my congregation at church, and some of these massive churches. If just one church went out and actually voted in April, that could make a huge difference.
Yes, I think moving the April elections, because of that, April elections to November is a really good idea. But we got to work with what we have right now, and that is they're in April. So we're doing the best that we can. Mark, you just mentioned the billboards. Yes, we've got more to come, and we've got signs, and we've got events, and we got all kinds of things that are going on. So I'm really excited. I'll tell you what, I'm giving it everything I got to get this done, because the kids in Francis Howell are definitely worth it.
They deserve it. You need leadership, and I can't stress that enough. We've been talking a lot the last maybe 2 weeks since these student walkouts have been happening, and you know, I pointed out, number one, if I take my daughter out for a doctor's appointment, I better get a note from the doctor, or she gets marked absent. You know, enough of those, you get in trouble for that. And yet it seems like to me, from the outside, with a wink and a nod, these administrators and teachers are encouraging this behavior for the kids to, instead of learning, they have of course they're going to go if they have an excuse to walk outside in the middle of the school day. What's been your experience there in Francis Howell? Has the board been consulted on any of this?
No, we find out after it happens. We all got a text yesterday. You know, Mark, the interesting thing is many people will say that, oh, they have freedom of speech. Well, you know what? Your freedom of speech does not exceed the responsibility to abide to rules and expectations and codes of conduct within the school. So unfortunately, you know, if we give them this freedom of speech, why have any rules at all? Why?
That's true.
I found out yesterday, was not excited about it at all. Fortunately, it was a small number, but it was still a number standing out there with signs, making themselves fully available to anybody that wants to do them harm. The world that we live in.
What are the other big issues you think are going to be prevalent this year? Because that no doubt will be one of them, as many districts are dealing with the kids who are trying to walk out of class to protest ICE.
I think one of the other ones is parental rights. We've had a problem in the Francis Howell School District with some books that you wouldn't want your child to read. And unfortunately, they're working on some changes to the policies that will tend to keep more those books in more and keep them in longer. So that's something that that's another issue. Parents have a right not to have their kids exposed to things they don't want them exposed to that are in the library. The other big issue that I see is research-based curriculum. Right now, there's a move afoot to put a Chromebook in front of every kid's face all day. But the problem is that there's a book called The Digital Delusion that rebuts everything. That's not the way kids learn. And so I want to go after research-based curriculum. Let's try things that we know are going to work, not the newest, latest, shiny new object.
Yeah, it's a great point. Well, so many of those issues are so important. And I mean, I know that a lot of people don't take the initiative to get up and learn more about it. There is an opportunity tonight, though, to meet the candidates, the Francis Howell School Board. I know that three of you will be out there, right? And this is happening at the Soda Museum downtown?
It is, and one of my favorite co-hosts in the whole world is going to be there with us. That would be Ms. Kim St-An, and we're so excited and thankful that she's going to be able to join us. Yes, we're going to be at the Soda Museum on Main Street in St. Charles at 6 p.m. You need to RSVP to 636-866-1510 if you intend to show up. Just doing that, letting us know your name, will get you in the front door. We're expecting a huge crowd, and we couldn't be more excited.
I will share that information for the RSVP up on our social media. If anybody wants to go to the Facebook page and look for it, you'll be able to find it there, so they can show up tonight. It's so important to hear these issues, and not only that, but as somebody who's been on the ballot a couple of times in my life for a municipal election, people need to understand what motivated you. Those are the stories I love to hear, and I'm really looking forward to meeting David Jaworski and Lauren Greenwood and finding out, what their motivation has been to step forward and take on this task, because it's not an easy thing to put your name out there on the ballot and stand up for what you believe in. Jane, thank you for doing that.
No, thank you. My main motivation the first time was the kids, the safety of the kids. I was hearing and reading things that I didn't care for. And at that point in time, I figured somebody else carried the water while I was busy working, raising a family, and doing all those other things. And so I decided that, now is my time. This time around, my focus is the kids, the safety and security of the kids. It hasn't changed a bit. They are the motivation that gets me up and gets me into this position each and every day. I stay awake at night trying to think of ways to keep them safe and make the educational experience the best that a child could have, because you only get one crack at this high school education.
It's a great point. Jane Puszkar, thank you so much. Candidate again for the Francis Howell School Board, and we'll have you on again before April, all right?
Thank you so much, Mark and Kim. I really appreciate all your support.
Of course. You bet. Great
you tonight.
Great to get her on here, and Kim will be there tonight. And I think they've got a bunch of other people coming who will be standing up and talking about some of these important things. Bill Eigel,
Nick Schroer.
Rich West, Nick Schroer is going to be out there. Bob Eno, of course, who runs the Republican Party out there in St. Charles County. So show up and listen. Should be good. Should be fun. All right, quick break. We'll be back in just a minute.
Traffic from the 97.1 FM Talk Traffic Center.
Accident westbound 6440 at McCausland, and they've got the right lane and the right shoulder blocked. Traffic is stacked up behind it. That's the worst jam we have right now. We've had several issues in that area this morning, but eastbound 40 looks fine. Out west into downtown, 70 is in good shape. 44 looks good. No problems headed for the Poplar Street Bridge. We're pretty quiet on the Illinois side in general. I'm Sue Thomas with traffic on 97.1 FM Talk, St. Louis Conservative.
Triton Exteriors. We take care of your home. It's that simple. Triton-STL.com. Home improvement projects can come with a lot of headaches. We save you time by offering packaged services that are easy to understand and based on your needs. We take care of the details so you don't have to. Visit us at Triton-STL.com. That's Triton-STL.com.
Look, don't you want to come home to a place you love? You all know that feeling, especially when you come home from a vacation and you're just depressed looking at your kitchen that's outdated, or your outdoor space is just not what you hoped it would be. You said you'd redo it 20 years ago and you really just haven't had the motivation to do it. Well, that's why you need to partner with a company like Lakeside Renovation and Design, because they're going to take all that detail work that stresses you out, that could be stopping you from turning your home into your dream space. They're going to do all of that for you. Lakeside Renovation and Design, they have a whole team of in-house designers, super talented, and they're going to make sure that you get the custom space that you're looking for. And they do basically everything. They do siding and windows, kitchens, bathrooms, basements, all season rooms. So when it's, 60 degrees out or it's snowing out, you could still enjoy your backyard. They even do home additions. So let's say you have a really good interest rate, you're not looking to move, but you need more space. Call Lakeside Renovation and Design, or just go to lakesiderd.com and look at the quality of work they do, because they use these quality materials that are designed to last. This is a veteran-founded, family-owned business, the company that backs up their work with a lifetime workmanship warranty, and they're always offering deals. In fact, right now through the end of the month, they're offering 18 months, no interest, no payments. This is just a company that's willing to take the time to answer any questions you have. They're not going to make you feel like you're a burden. I've been there with companies. Go to lakesiderd.com. You actually can talk directly with Candace, who is the owner's daughter, and she's going to answer any questions you have. Again, it's lakesiderd.com.
Never miss a beat. Take 97.1 FM Talk with you. The voices you trust, Marc Cox, Annie Fry, Mark Reardon, Scott Jennings, and more are just a tap away with the Odyssey app. Stream 97.1 FM Talk, St. Louis conservative.
Rhino Shield is far superior to even the best traditional exterior house paint. Rhino Shield is 8 to 10 times thicker than paint and comes with a 25-year transferable warranty. Rhino Shield is the only ceramic coating company that has been chosen by Disney, This Old House, and 3 times on HGTV's Curb Appeal, where every episode is concentrated on unpainted brick, bonds and seals to stucco, wood, hardy, block, color lock, masonite, and more. No better product for those steel aluminum-sided homes that have become, chalky and tired looking. We coat sloped and flat roofs to extend their lives too. After 15 years, we've got a great reputation and a superior product. As long as it's affordable, why wouldn't you do it? Before you make the costly mistake of painting with traditional paint, you'd be best served to call Rhino Shield today. We are the experts and our evaluations are free. 877-25-RHINO or 877-25rhino.com. Tell them, ladies.
Don't paint, don't Rhino, go Rhino Shield. Never paint your house again. Rhino Shield.
If you're looking for the best eye care in St. Louis, look no further than the doctors of Ophthalmology Associates. Doctors Greg Birdie, Ranjan Malhotra, Robert Brusati, and Andrew Royer. Make your appointment today at youridoc.com or call 314-966-5000. Ophthalmology Associates.
Real estate investing isn't just about numbers. It can change your life. At Lifestyles Unlimited, we teach you how to invest in real estate with purpose, real-world strategy, and a focus on income you can build over time. Many of our members start to see how the right investment can create income, stability, and even improve communities. Join today for just $297, a 60% savings off the regular price. Text radio to 88007. That's RADIO to 88007. Presented by Lifestyles Unlimited.
Hair Volume from New Nordic will make your hair look thick and healthy. Available as a tablet or delicious gummy. Hair Volume is available online at Amazon and NewNordicUSA.com or in the hair care aisle at your local CVS.
The Marc Cox Morning Show is St. Louis conservative.
Showing President Trump's approval rating taking a hit amid overwhelmingly unpopular immigration and deportation operations. At some point, we need to talk about these so-called detention centers, which
they're
have another word.
They're not detention centers; they're internment camps.
That was Morning Joe today, in case you missed it, and I'm sure you did, because if you're a halfway intelligent human being, you don't listen to MS Now or whatever the hell they're calling it now. But that's why I'm here for you. I'm here to take the heat and make my own ears bleed so I can express some of what these people, who I don't think have America's best interest in mind ever, are going on and feeding their listeners this morning. They're telling people that taking people who are legally determined by a judge to have been in this country illegally and set up for orders of deportation, legitimate orders of deportation, that when they collect those people, they have to hold them somewhere before they ship them out of the country. Those are internment camps. This is what the left wants you to believe, that we have internment camps. And nothing could be further from the truth. I mean, the problem, I didn't agree with what they did during World War II with putting the Japanese in internment camps. I guess it made a lot more sense to people at the time who were afraid there were Japanese spies among us during World War II. That's not what this is at all. None of these are American citizens. They're illegal aliens. It drives me batty when I hear them say this. And Morning Joe wants you to believe that this issue is going to kill the Republicans in the polls. Well, Joe, here's where you're wrong. The vast majority of people in this country believe that illegal aliens should leave. And all these camps is a way station to keep them in until we can put them on an airplane or a train and ship them back to wherever the hell they came on the line. And that's not happening anymore in this country. So I don't know. I'm just when I hear things like that, it just makes me want to scream.
A lot of things make you want to scream.
They do this morning, don't they? Why they've got me on edge.
No, you, Mark, on edge. On edge about all the craziness going on in the world.
I'm going to play this for you because, once again, I'm waiting for him to be fired from CNN, but Harry Enton came out with another poll showing that even Democrats think their party has moved too far to the left. Listen to this.
So we're talking about the Democratic base, right? But what about all Americans, right? How about all voters? Voters who say the Democrats are now too liberal. Look at this percentage. It was 42% in 96, 48% in 2013, now 58% in 2025 of all voters say that the Democratic Party is too liberal. The Democrats are moving to the left, the far left is gaining power, and there could be some electoral repercussions because what we see right now is voters, the clear majority, say that they are too liberal.
I've yet to hear Harry Enton come out with a poll that CNN's going to like or appreciate.
You know, I've been surprised with some of the things that CNN's been reporting on, talking about, 70% of Democrats support people having to show an ID to vote.
They do?
It's like the thought of them having to train their minds to actually read those words on the air. I'm like, you can do it. You can do it. You can read this poll, because I'm sure it's painful for them to acknowledge that.
Well, of course it is. This is not what their programming normally kind of includes, although you got to give them credit that they keep Harry Enton on the desk over there for sure, because that's kind of what he's been doing. And in the meantime, I guess they're letting their other reporters carry the water for them on all this. All right, that is going to do it for us today. Of course, Kill Meat will be up next. Be sure and stay tuned for that. Have yourselves a great weekend and a happy Valentine's Day, however you are going to celebrate that. We're off Monday for President's Day. Heidi will be filling in Monday morning. And then I'm off a couple days next week. Dan Buck is going to be sitting in here with you.
Yep.
Looking forward to that. That'll be a lot of fun.
Have a safe trip, Mark, and we'll see you Thursday.
Be listening from afar, and I'll see you near the end of next week. Have a great weekend.
Catch anything you missed today by getting the show podcast at 971talk.com.